Batrider need to go? Does it matter at all? Is it more that he just wants to have his own laning phase rather than shutting down an enemy laning phase? Because sometimes Batrider can be played either way.
I think just put him mid. Okay. You just enable him the most. He gets the levels. He's able to make rotations early on, super easy. And you're versus Nature's Prophet. You can get free kills super often with pretty much any situation where the Nature's Prophet messes up. I do like Darkseer Lycan though a lot. I think this combo is something really good. It's tried and tested 6 years ago, 7 years ago, right? People were just like, oh, Ion Shelled Wolves. They run through, they're invisible.
It's vintage, you know, like an old wine. This has always been good, and VP traditionally have always played it well. I just fear for them, and I think this will be our first test of just because look, if this is Nigma playing with this draft, I'm like, this game's over. Like Miracle Void, we hop at like just GG out now. But I'm not sure if 5 men will have mastered it, and it is on them to make plays to win the game. VP, you get a couple of kills, like towers just kind of fall. It's much simpler to execute the draft, but I think 5 men certainly should have the edge.
Yeah, I do think, like you said though, I think VP, if a couple of mistakes early game, and you might just be on a weird spot on the side of 5 men if you make mistakes, and you're just like, well, we're stuck on our side of the map because we just lost our 3 tier 1s versus like in Nature's Prophet. So early game is going to be the big thing I'm looking at least here, where they put the bat, how they play the lanes, how the Doom plays, because I think Jibe also, if he is playing the Doom, he owned yesterday on it. He's super aggressive, so
use one of them. Just I want to see bat against Lycan if they can get it. That'd be a big edge for them. Kill him a couple times. I guess Doom would do fine too. It's just it'll just be hopefully a cool game of Dota. We had a lot of stomps yesterday. I want to see something back and forth.
Give me something a little bit close. Let's see how much flexibility 5 men can show as we jump into game 1 and send it over to the casters.
Thank you very much, Tsunami. Yeah, so let's find out. I mean, Lacoste, what do you reckon? Can VP run them over with this fast-paced Lycan Nature's Prophet lineup? Or is the Bat and the Void going to get to show their strengths as the panel sort of touched upon?
I want to see where this Batrider is going to lane. I know that he's extremely good against the Lycan. There's a lot of counter picks in this game, and virtus.pro, they have an extremely fast lineup. They don't rely that much on cooldown, so they can, you know, Shapeshift is the longest one, so they can just keep fighting all the time. And one thing I'm worried about the 5-man lineup is they don't have that much outpush. You know, they don't have heroes that kill the creeps quickly. You have Puck. That's pretty much it. You know, Batrider can deal with one lane, but one lane's gonna be constantly pushed in. You're dealing against the Darkseer who can just Ion Shell the creeps. You can Ion Shell the Wolves. You have Wolves plus Necros. And most importantly, Nature's Prophet. So yeah, I don't think the lane equilibrium is going to be on the side of 5 men.
No, yeah, the pressure's definitely going to be onto them. And overall, because of the draft of VP, are they definitely on a timer this game? Like, if this goes past a certain point, is it going to be very hard for VP to play their game?
It will. I think this lineup just goes down after like 35-40 minute mark, especially if they're not snowballing, getting the Roshans, getting Cheese and Aegis. So we will have no one on Nature's Prophet on the mid lane, something that I don't remember seeing. And right now, 5 men just try laning against Lycan. I don't think he gets much out of this lane. You can see his item build. He was preparing to play against the Batrider, just getting that magic stick and 3 branches.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was indeed. You say the Bat not going to be here, but the tri-lane will be. So pressure onto RTW, top lane. See how much Zibe is able to find on his own. I mean, as the Doom, do you think he's still going to find something, show you against 2 heroes, or is this a tough lane for Zibe?
All you need is experience and not to die. Like, you're going to get farm eventually. As level progresses, put more points in that Devour, get extra gold. Solo is one of the few players who actually play Shadow Demon as position 5, and I saw him not getting Shadow Poison at all, you know, just getting for that disruption and the Soul Catcher. They also played one game where he had, I think it was TB, so a lot of illusions. Now he's just gonna devour that camp, so they have a pool. Ziba's playing well the top lane. I mean, he has 5 CS and almost 2 full creep waves dragging to the tower.
Yeah, he's gonna have some easy levels to start this game, it seems, as the Doom. Bottom. Root out into RTW again, just continuing to harass this Lycan as much as they can, the 3 of them. Ace grabbing the wave as well, so they just can keep pressuring this Lycan underneath his tower. And once those levels get there, especially when there's the level 3 on Pi, it's going to be a lot of nuke damage to throw out at RTW.
Oh, we saw that one. That's a lot of pressure on LTW.
Yeah.
He's running low on region. I mean, Lycan has insanely high regen coming out from Feral Impulse, but still, if they keep pressuring like this, you're gonna have to be very worried. Also, I don't see if they... Yeah, that side camp is not blocked, so 5 men push the lane, pull it to the side camp.
See Zayats. Gonna try and get the catch onto Pylai. Doesn't connect with the stun, only able to find the slow. The Pi will be able to step away. Solo will be able to disrupt the attempt from Misery to jump over to his orb. They're trying to get the body blocks there with the Lycan walls, but won't be the case. Misery's able to keep himself away.
Darkseer used Iron Shell while Earth Spirit was TPing, try to get some extra damage, and usually you would expect Oracle to be paired up against the Darkseer, so I think 5 men just surprise them with the lanes.
I mean, look at this mid, though. I mean, no one is destroying Chessie so far. 15, 16, and 11 against the 12 for free. He's getting a lot of denies here. I guess quite a few of them probably the Treants, but definitely no one coming out on top. I mean, is that expected in the 1v1 for the Nature's Prophet to have the easier time early on?
I think Batrider should have quite few more CS than this. If the 2 players of equal skill are matched up against each other.
Yeah, for now, no one definitely with the advantage mid. But we have seen that be the case. I mean, especially in like yesterday's series as well with 5 men. Chessie did usually have a rough time in the lane. Usually fell behind, but it didn't matter. He was able to make up for it in many other aspects of the game compared to just the mechanical laning. But
Chessie lost his lane.
Yeah.
To his brother, but then managed to make a comeback. So it's not all about the laning stage, you know, it's about who you're playing with, who's empowering you. Also, this tri-lane at the bottom for virtus.pro could easily just become a quad lane with Tenacious Prophet TPing. And I think they want to make a move once he gets level 6. Chessie, Invis, level 6. Oh, he's not level 6 yet, never mind.
Yeah, not quite. For them, just about a wave away from it.
I was just being too hyped for it, you know. Kill the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, so far, 5 minutes in, nobody to go down. He is going to try and go on to no one. No one over the TP out. Only just gets away though. Smart read there from Chess. He does nearly find an opportunity to kill him.
It was close. If no one didn't TP straight away, he dies there. And Batrider is one of the better heroes against Nature's Prophet in general. Like, you're flying over him, flying over the trees, not allowing him to TP, save that lasso. How's Rezo doing? 32 CS. Not too bad, huh?
Oh, and a courier. At the same time as down bottom, VP will be able to find both supports, Pi and Misery. Taken out, and now Solo, now RTW, you see Solo trying to block Ace off, but Ace able to get his way round, so Ace will be fine, but Courier and 2 kills down on the bottom. VP off to the better start here. Which is, as we say, with their draft, it's very important that they do get ahead early. This is a lineup that's designed to snowball and build up to a point where they're going to be able to 5 men down lanes, whilst 5 men can't defend them.
Oh, he was about to hit him. Okay, Misery. Actually, Pylai die from the downtown, getting the last hit. The problem is, every single time Nature's Prophet has that ulti, like the last bounces deal more than 700 damage. And I think it just connected on the bottom lane and they got the 2 kills.
Yeah, they've got to watch out for those moves from no one each time that ult's up. DD as well, 20 seconds until he's got the Wrath ready to bounce around as well.
And it's much easier for virtus.pro to execute games. You know, Earth Spirit just rolling in, you have people being surged in, TP from Nature's Prophet. And we can see already 5 men just trying to adjust their lanes.
Now seeing Zayats coming up here top to join forces with Resolution. Zibe's out of the lane though, sticking away from this dangerous area. As the pressure continues to be applied, Resolution's going to be able to hit these early timings on the auras. The free farm that he's been getting top. And no one cleaning up those stacks, just continuing to stay quite ahead of anyone else in the game here. 53 CS at this pre-7 minute mark. This is an incredibly farm Nature's Prophet mid.
So they have Lasso, which they're not using. They have Doom, which is online for a minute already. Their heroes are very good at killing, and when you have a hero like Doom, you need to have a good chasing potential, and these are one of the best heroes. Batrider, you have multiple time walks being used plus a puck coil, just holding him in place. I think puck in the mid game just destroys Lycan and Darkseer, where you can't move.
Yeah, that whole sort of surge mechanics just put to an end. As long as Misery finds those stream coils, as you say, lots of ways to ensure that 5 men can control these team fights. Particularly when Ace has got his 6 and just about to do so, getting that Mask of Man his first day, so that he has some punch in the fights early on.
I'll be right back, Owen. Just grabbing my stick to poke them, do something. 3 kills, 8 minutes in.
And our first game of the day here in the Immortal League. Team's still taking it easy, taking the time to wake up.
Gavin, please.
A couple of tasty little bashes there on Solo. The Ace showing us that RNG is to be on his side this game. He's prepared with the bashes.
Would you rather use those bashes early on or just save them for later? Like right now, you're showing dominance. Solo's not getting close next time. But what if he uses all of those early on and has nothing left for this mid and late game?
I mean, that could be a problem. We'll see if that's going to be the case. We'll look out for Ace lacking the bashes later on. Zayat is going to get taken out here. Chessie actually committing the lasso to lock him down. Pylai is going to die for this attempt. TP, but they've got the ward. Solo pops it down. Make sure that they've got the vision to disrupt that TP attempt out. And VP, they'll take the 2 of them. So not the sort of the best first moves from 5-man Chessie there with that lasso. Drops it. It's just for a support. Costs him his life as well as a support as well.
Yeah, that was not a very good move. virtus.pro heroes are very good at just counterplaying and being there fast. Like Shadow Demon, solo position 5, is gonna be level 6 before 6 minute mark without making any stacks or having Shadow Poison. Now Faceless Void, just a casual gloves and the Mask of Madness with the Chronosphere up. This was the first lasso. I mean, Doom did have his ulti for quite some time, but we don't see him using it.
Yeah, not found an opportunity to get involved yet, Zibe. There's VP back on with getting this top wave push right into the tower with the Iron Shell. Surge onto Zayat. Having a bit of a poke. Zibe now looking to run in. Doesn't want to drop the Doom down quite yet. Still aware that committing with the Doom, there's going to be counter plays. Well, here's one of them. ILTW actually popping the ult. They're ready to charge in and try and chase this down. The slow onto Pi and Zibe. Can't quite reach them there, so a little bit of a premature pop of the ult there from RTW. Down bottom, Ace using the chrono to try and kill Solo, and you're right, he doesn't, but he does have Chessie. Chessie's going to come in, and there's the bashes. They will the kill, but did have to use the chrono there for that kill on the position 5.
Chessie equals boots. Yeah, I guess he used all those bashes in the laning stage and got none during the chronos, because that's just a demon with the brown boots. He should be able to get a kill on him. Right now, top 2 heroes from virtus.pro on network chart. Darkseer's extremely farmed, just going for those early items, getting that mech.
We'll see. Doom is going to be dropped down onto Zayat. Backups here. No one TP's in. Has control on Pylai with the Sprout. Zayat's continuing to retreat. Zibe trying to get the last few hits in to push him over the edge. There's going to be a buyback from Pylai. Zibe trying to finish off this Earth Spirit kill, but the Surge is there. Is he going to live? He is. The Earth Spirit, Zayat will survive. Rezo able to get him out with the Surge. His Misery's come across, but he can't quite get a catch on any of them. They're already too far back.
It's very important for 5-man to get a kill on a core here. They managed to kill Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet is an easy, like, snowballing hero, but if you just put yourself in a bad spot, alright, silence.
To get the coil down onto RTW, bringing Zibe and Chet across there on top of the Lycan. RTW pops the stick charges. There's the Surge save again. Resolution TPing in to offer that backup, keeping the Lycan safe. Now turn and try and run down Jesse, but they have got the Necro book out in it as well. They've picked off Misery on the side as no one comes back into the game, but the TP is able to find him on the retreat. No one trying to head over, see if they can get Sprout control onto these. Rezo surges forward, the Sprout out onto Zibe. Zibe chops his way out of it. Still the Lycan walls and the Iron Shells burning Zibe down. The save will have to come out from Pylai with the false promise and get Zibe out there, but they're still chasing. Another Surge from Resolution onto no one. Sprout onto the Oracle, but Pi bites his way out. Treant's back out in play. Zibe trying to turn with the Scorched Earth and the Zap. It's not enough to threaten no one, as it's just going to have to be a case of 5 men keeping their distance.
It feels like there's a lot of action happening, but we're getting no kills because there's a lot of saves on both of these teams. You have Oracle, you have Shadow Demon against the Chronos here. That's going to be the target for 5 men to actually get. Also, Pylai Die, he bought back like 2 minutes ago. Next time he dies, he's going to be out of the game for a minute.
Oh, mid. No one versus Misery. Misery, he's going to have to drop the coil here. Dies to the Nature's Wrath. Time is bought for Chen.
Break the coil.
In with the lasso. They'll bring him back and take him out. Misery will certainly be happy with that trade. As you can see, they're dropping the tips on no one.
They have 2 nice abilities to break the coil or drag with the lasso. It feels like we're not using these ultis. You have Lycan, you know, just farming. Earth Spirits didn't use ulti yet, 13 minutes in.
Yeah, I guess VP is still just a little apprehensive about grouping up and pushing. They're just worried about running into a chrono. But then at the same time, if that's the concern for VP's lineup at this stage, you know, when does it actually get better? When are they not going to be scared about trying to push into these big team fight ults of 5 men? Bottom. Catch there onto Ace. They have got the silence done now. And if the follow silence desires, they'll be able to find a quick and easy kill. So 5 men have got to be very prepared now for no one coming out like this. The Orchid revealed. This Prophet, the sort of the single strongest hero right now in terms of setup and catch. As Ace has almost certainly just got to stick away from the lanes and to the shadows of the jungle, unless he has Pylai Die sat behind him with the save.
virtus.pro is ready to go. They have Orchid, they have Book 3 on Lycan, so there's a lot of vision removed. Items are going to start piling up if they just keep fighting. You want to have that BKB on Nature's Prophet. Oh, this is a big kill.
Yeah, big moves from no one now.
50 seconds without him. It's not cheating, he just bought back in the previous fight.
Yeah, right, does seem still very long here, just 14 minutes in. It's mid lane. Cassie gonna charge in on this. Zayat's Resolution and ILTW ready to fight. They pop the up, jump in from Misery with the Dream Call to try and stop them from getting on top of Chessie, but they'll still be able to find him. They kill him off before he's out, and no one's there with the catch onto Misery. Finding him after he jaunts away to the orb. ILTW continue to run in, chases down Zibe. This is what VP want to do, just running over 5 men here at 14 minutes in, and we're really starting to get a taste of what this lineup, this draft is capable of at this early point of the game.
They're very aggressive. Another good silence.
Got the wall down, back into the control of Zayat, and they're playing perfectly fast now, VP. This is exactly what they set out to do with this draft.
Yeah, when I said they're ready to fight, this is what I meant, you know. It's go time. You have Orchid, you have Necrobook 3. It's time to get some towers. They already lost 2 towers. Solo's just gonna die. Nothing to see here. Been there, done that a couple of times. I'll also... Faceless Void, he has Mask Madness and he went for Battle Fury as the next item. I guess he just wants to, you know, deal with the summons.
Yeah,
but it's very punishable. Like it takes
you're just gonna get
they have 2 silences. How are you gonna defend yourself? I guess he's just relying on Pylai Die to take care of.
Yeah, they must be.
Also, I would love to see a different creep on Doom. He's keeping that.
You're not a fan of the Zap?
Not a fan of the Zap. I would love to see Purge creep against the Darkseer.
Talking about the Doom in trouble. Pylai is going to come in with the save. Ace is going to drop down the Chrono. Only catches Zayat in it, and Solo's able to come in with a defensive disruption. So Zayat, he's not even going to die in this Chrono. As now 5 men have got to get out, and now Chronosphere's on cooldown. Nothing to be found with it.
You have full 2 minutes to play around the Chronosphere timing right now. I think it's time to get the Roche, and I believe Lycan's already in the Roche pit.
And this, I mean, it feels like that hurts real big. You know, you're playing against this lineup that's really starting to amp up and overrun you. Those big ults, like the lassos, the dooms, and the chronos, they've got to be used perfectly. Like, that's your only mechanism of actually slowing VP down right now.
Yeah, you need to use those efficiently. One of the reasons why I was so surprised that they picked Batrider and Faceless Void into Shadow Demon. Usually it's the other way around. During the panels that I was on, I kept talking about having a save ability against the Chronosphere, against the Magnus. I think it's very important, and we're going to see better teams keep doing that.
Oh, and it's about bit up to Zibe, but Pylodai is hit by the side of him. Solo's going to commit with the Demonic Purge. No one, and Resolution coming charging in. Zibe is trapped in the Sprout. VP,
He gave up. I mean, he had Quelling Blade ready, did not want to use it. He understood that he's dead. You know, that also says something about the state of the team that they're in right now.
Yeah, this is, you know, can they really keep up and hold back VP right now? Ace, as you say, still trying to get that Battle Fury done. But yeah, it's going to be such a risky game for him to play. Already struggling with finding kills with the Chrono, and as we point out, it's only Pi that can save him. If he's ever caught out silenced, he's just going to die, Battle Fury or not. That's not going to keep him alive.
And you know what? LTW, he goes for a second Orchid. They want to be
he's probably seen the Battle Fury on board. He's like, oh, I'll just get another silence. What's he going to do?
At this point, I think it's better to just completely bail that item build. You need to take care of yourself. If you wanted to get the farming item, like try to get it straight away. Be more greedy, but you can't get Battle Fury Aftermath Madness into 3 silence. Now, I mean, you can, but this is what's going to happen.
We'll be able to get there in time with the false promise. The wall and the vacuum down onto the 2 of them. Zibe leads him, drops the Doom down onto Resolution. Pi gets punched out of the game by no one. Resolution still very tanky as Zibe and Jury, they're trying to finish him off. Solo being able to buy some safety for Rezo with the disruption. He continues to retreat. Zibe cannot finish off this kill as no one. He's just cleaning up. It's a triple kill for the Prophet. Zibe's trying to hide in the trees. He's able to blink up and get his way out there. No one's trying to chase, but Zibe too speedy. Will manage to escape far enough away. But still, it's a triple kill for no one. They're pushing on the bottom. No one now with a full BKB as well. It just really seems that 5 men, they cannot deal with the speed that VP's playing at.
They cannot. They really cannot. And Doom, he goes for the target that he needs to go for. Like, he needs to Doom that Darkseer, otherwise someone's going to get Surge out of the fight. And there's a ton of regen on him, so he's also not the perfect target. You know, he does not have that one hero that he can solo kill. Yeah, no one's just popping off.
Yeah, this Prophet's out of control. We're seeing 12k net worth on Prophet. The closest on 5 men right now, it's Ace at 7k, almost 5k behind in terms of each team's top core at 19 minutes in. That's a massive difference.
virtus.pro playing at turbo mode speed, while 5 men playing at 1 speed, the normal one.
I mean, what can they do? It's going to have to be some perfect 5-man chrono, but I mean, even at this point of the game, right, you get 5 of them in the chrono, you're not really going to kill anyone, right?
No.
They don't have any sort of huge AoE damage burst follow-up.
They have the guy who controls the time. You know, he should be able to speed things up or slow them down.
The seeds of fortune.
Time and this doesn't seem to be controlled suitably by 5 men this game. So that's one thing he can do. TP is going to get him pretty safe most of the time when no one comes a hunting.
He's still going for it.
He's going for it. He's a dreamer. I like it. You know, that this is a man after my own heart. I mean, that not always a great thing to do in a pro game, you know, going for the Battle Fury, but I love it. He sees the summons. I mean, if he can get Battle Fury, then Aghanims, then BKB, then probably a damage item, then he's going to be all right. A lot of items, though. It's a lot of items. He's going to need a lot of time for that, Ace. But he's a dreamer, and I like it.
And just have a bro agreement where virtus.pro is not allowed to attack for the next 30 minutes.
Just, you know, if they let him have another 20 minutes, he may be all right.
Yeah, VP doesn't seem to care too much about that agreement, huh?
Oh, here we go. Push it to the high ground. Yeah, just 21 minutes in here. VP pounding in the high ground of 5 men. And what 5 men do, they're trying their best to clean out the push with the orb. And it's the Battle Fury complete.
Okay.
So now they've just got to keep this game going. Get Ace hitting the creeps. Get sort of those next 2 items on top of it, and he'll be all right. Until that point, though, he is going to continue to suffer. Anytime he comes out in the lane, it's an easy kill, and no one inside. As we've seen already, just multiple silences here from VP that the Void alone has no counter play against.
No one is even holding on to Clumsy Net. It's one of the best items you can get against these mobile heroes.
Mid lane, Misery will find a 3-man Dream Coil, but that's it. That's all, folks. As Misery's gone, Pi gets rolled into this one. It's starting to look a little messy, Lacoste.
Yeah, you know what I say, Owen? When it's time to call it, it's time to call it. Start thinking about what can happen in game number 2, because this one is pretty over.
Yeah, I mean, VP, the execution with this draft has been perfect. That's exactly what they wanted to do. Let's see what they can find here with the 5-backs. 5 men, they're going to come in with the lasso onto IOTW, but he already got the ult off. He continues to run Ace. Will find the chrono onto the 2 of them. The disruption, keep resolution safe as Ace turns over to one side, but he's just doing no damage, and Ace is dead. He's gone for 45. They're tipping this man. They're tipping him hard. As this Void gets tipped out of the game, GG is called. As VP, I mean, this is the fire you expect from the CIS side. 22 minutes in.
And Void Spirit and Medusa are quite tanky. You don't really have much raw DPS, or at least persistent DPS throughout a fight. So this last hero's got to kind of solve that. That's why 5 men ban out Terrorblade and Alchemist, arguably 2 of the best heroes at utilizing gold around the 20-25 minute mark and outputting damage. You could see, I mean, I said last game, Meepo.
10 seconds remaining.
Meepo into these supports,
Team
into Void Spirit.
Could work.
Pick a Drow Ranger.
Okay, this is a long time considered a counter to Dusa. You get the silence off, no ult possible. You can outrange her later on, and you just do some pretty heavy damage. But
Can you
there's nothing
outrange
with
her
it.
versus Venge?
That's
The
true.
thing. Venge already just gives you that extra attack speed.
10 seconds.
Now what's the
remaining.
pick for Zibe?
I don't think they solved. It's a first 2 Medusa pick, and I'm not seeing heroes that solved
Yeah.
a first 2. Like, hey guys, we can kill Dusa now. I'm not really seeing it so much.
Does the Drow at least solve your one issue of lack of sustained DPS? Because that was the main thing that you were noting.
Kinda, but not really. I feel like this game is all on no one Tiny now. That's the guy that's going to have to take it home for him. Drow, from what I've seen, doesn't like to get involved too early on. I usually just see her farming, and if the lane goes poorly, you're in big trouble. And if you're aggroed on in this case, I feel like 5 men have a pretty big advantage on you.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Void Spirit's I like playing Void Spirit versus Drow. You have a shield that absorbs that damage, that physical damage, and you get right on top of her. You literally you're always going to get on her.
Yeah, and just be straight up Beastmaster. I was saying, just get some sort of damage amplification. This is a BKB piercing stun as well. You've got this in combination.
Go any other way, but
And a little hometown favoritism as well. We got a lot of fans tuning in that are certainly pulling for VP. I love 5 men's lineup in this game. I think it's their game to lose. virtus.pro, always possible. They do have a lot of kill threat. You know, if you blink forwards with Tiny, doom somebody, egg goes off. 5 men don't have the same kind of team fight, but in theory their lanes should go well, and then every minute that transpires afterwards, they'll have more gold farmed because their heroes are just better at hitting creeps.
I think they also just have, this is just a better win condition. It's just like, okay, VP, the onus is on you to end the game.
Yeah.
This Medusa at some point is going to be an absolute beast with that Venge behind, and they have good high ground defense. They have pretty strong lanes too. Definitely liking this one. I feel like this one's just less risky. I feel like the last one, just because of what they're playing against VP, it was just like, shit, we can't make a couple mistakes, so we get run over. I don't see VP being able to do that kind of run over at all this game. They only have the Drow to be able to push those towers and capitalize on objectives. And it still looks like a good Dusa game, which is a first 2 Dusa pick. So
yeah, that is so. With the last pick, Drow, what do you think VP's solution was in there? What shortcomings were they trying to fulfill? Because there are more traditional Medusa counters, like an anti-mage, I guess, which they didn't know what the last pick on 5 men was. Oh, it was banned.
they banned it right after they picked Medusa. Yeah.
So what was VP going for with this Drow? They're like, this is our solution to how we're going to win this game. Because it doesn't seem to answer the Drow problem, so what problem was it answering?
You usually had limited options. I think it's just comfort hero, and it does match up well against the Dusa. and it gives them the structure damage missing.
And a silence for Void Spirit.
Yeah,
I think that's
you needed a carry that dealt damage, but the utility that Drought provides is going to be very nice. Like VP's lineup kind of needed this like cheap spell to create advantage, because otherwise it's like, okay, Egg, Doom, Tiny Combo, and like a Disrupt. Those are your only options for like playmaking. So the silence is actually pretty key to take out these two cores.
And that being said, you both are still kind of leaning 5 men on this draft.
Yeah, more so than last. I think this one's just less risky. I feel like the last one, like we said, it was risky because they can just get run over. This one, I don't see a way. I don't see them being able to get run over. I think this Dusa is going to have a good game. Even if she dies once or twice, she's going to be able to back up in jungle because she has a Void Spirit making space. She has all these other heroes that can put pressure.
Then let's see if 5 men can replicate their series that they won versus Alliance after losing game 1 as we toss it over to our casters.
Thank you very much, Tsunami. Yes, game 2. Let's see how it goes. We're getting the Dusa coming out from 5 men, the second pick here in the draft. Plenty of picks for the side of VP to respond to it. What do you sort of think of their response and their approach to this game? Nikos, do you like what they've decided to try and do against Dusa here?
Well, I was watching the draft. 2 last picks kind of were familiar to me, what they're going to go for. And I feel like they wanted also to prepare for the tri-lane. That's a possibility for 5 men. If they decide to go once again aggressive tri-lane with Medusa, with the Venge and Rubik, I think that's extremely strong. But for now, they're just keeping it simple.
All right, yeah. Starting with just Misery down here with Zibe. Keeping Medusa in the safe lane, and looks like on the side of VP they're also not going to do anything too crazy. Drow starting down here on the safe lane, and of course no one in this mid matchup against Chess, you know. So there's the Tiny versus Void Spirit matchup. I mean, how do you feel that you've seen this go most of the times in a 1v1?
Sometimes it looks pretty even, but most of the time Void Spirit just gets on top. You're playing against hero with 0 armor, so that could be pretty tough for Tiny. And with the recent changes to 3 grab, you can't really just keep that 3 all the time. You have 5 charges, so I think that's a huge nerf to a Tiny. Also, one of the reasons why they wanted to have something like a Drow Ranger on the bottom lane. Possibility, prepare for that Beastmaster pick.
Middle tower
you know,
is under attack.
you don't care too much about getting harassed by the boar. Let's see how this mid lane's doing. Chessie so far doing fine for CS against 3 on Tiny. And I believe Solo, once again, will go for the same item build. Sorry, skill build. But he does not get the point in Shadow Poison, just, you know, plays pure defensively. But that W is going to deal a ton of damage.
Oh, yeah.
Once you max it out.
Yeah, that instant opening damage, or at least temporary damage, can really set up for some of these kills. Very strong with burst heroes, right? Like the Tiny. Once Tiny starts making moves, Solo's always going to be able to set up with the Soul Catcher to bring them to an HP threshold that this Avalanche Toss just destroys them.
Tiny will need to pop off for virtus.pro. I think he is the key hero of this draft, where he needs to like be able to kill the heroes, someone like Avenge or Rubik, before the fight starts. And he also always threatens a kill on the Void Spirit. One of the reasons why they went for Drow Ranger, they needed some like extra, not lockdown, but control for this Void Spirit, because they were very limited. And that silence is going to do miracle, I think.
Yeah. And again, would you agree that this is a game where they're going to have to keep it pretty fast? VP going late against the Deuce is never really going to be an option, or do they have some tools late game that can be good against Ace?
It's a lineup that scales, you know, taking over the Medusa illusions with the Shadow Demon and having a Drow Ranger, but still feel like Medusa, Beastmaster, Venge is just a better late game option that I would always side to.
Yeah, lots of ways to really empower this Medusa and keep her safe with the swap saves. So far, looking at the last hits, it's only, everyone's really sort of getting a look in. I guess this top lane, Rezo, yeah, okay, he's struggling a little bit. Only 5 CS at the moment on this off lane Phoenix, so that will be the slow start here.
Zibe, look at his build. 80 damage on a Beastmaster, 2 Fairy Fires, Belt, and a Magic Wand. Like, usually you don't want to get a Magic Wand, especially if you know that Solo's not gonna get... I mean, Magic Wands, don't get me wrong, it's one of the best items in the game where you must have it on a hero. But he's tanky, alright, they're making a move.
And Pi, falling very low here to the Fire Spirits, but we'll be fine.
This is what you see more often, just position 4s getting straight up tranquil boots, where they, you know, get out of the fight for 10 seconds, 15, regen up almost to full HP, and then they start harassing once again.
And do you like this decision as well for VP running the Doom as the 4 and the Phoenix as the off lane, rather than the other way around? Like, why have they done it this way?
I think it's much easier for Phoenix to farm in terms of what he's laning against two range heroes, something that he does not like to, and extra minus armor. But it's also not that great of a Phoenix game. Oh, a lot of heroes dropping very low.
Misery versus Solo. I think Misery, he should have this. Runs him down. He's killed Misery in bottom lane. Zibe, he's in onto RTW. He's just able to run him down under the tower and get the kill alone.
Just wants to die. There's no one to pick up the XP since Solo died, so this is very efficient gaming coming up from 5 men already.
Hey, getting some early kills here in these side lanes. And as we say, farm across the board, definitely looking the better for them. All 3 of their cores are hitting the creeps just fine. That top lane, definite slow start for Resolution with the way that 5 men have been able to hold on to it and get a fair few denies here in that safe lane.
Emerging from the void.
Dire's middle tower.
5-minute
is under
runes up.
attack.
That's VP. They're going to try and make a move down here. They're coming in with the smoke, Solo, and no one. So they can find a disruption into the combo of the Tiny. See if they can burst. Same time at top high.
That was,
Where was he going? What was he
I
doing?
don't know.
What was he doing? What was he trying to do? He just walked down. He just walked in.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I really have no idea what that was.
Did he have,
trying to put some?
Was he trying to? I don't think he had a ward. Was he trying to ward? He legit. Did he just stop looking at his hit? He just walked down by the cliff after he'd seen them. Like, he was already the wrong side of Zayat.
Is under attack.
I mean, you can't ward in front of the full creep wave that's going to be noticed. I mean, you're playing against the professional players. Not sure what that was.
No, that was a little strange. Rizzo able to dive out just in time, and Pi, he's going to take quite a punch here from Zayat.
Phoenix will come back and use Fire Spirits. Yeah.
Oh, no.
He's out of range, and he can do that because they have nothing to just straight up kill him. Look at his HP. Like, he has 50 HP, 50 mana.
Oh, we'll see that early kill down bottom that we weren't able to catch with the action going on elsewhere. It was the move from Chessie that enabled it. First blood for 5 men. We've seen both mids already starting to get active as expected. This Tiny and Void Spirit, both very important for their respective sides in terms of just setting this tempo, and they're starting to push some of the side lanes into their favor.
Medusa dropping very low.
Yeah, no regen.
She's sitting at 250 HP with no regen. I guess someone will just have to bring.
And they've got this
some,
ward down, so Zayat,
Ace might die.
he's got a little bit of mana, providing him some protection with the shield, but
could
it's...
do the trick.
Oh no, I mean, this top lane's starting to get a bit messy for 5 men. Those 2 back-to-back deaths from Pi, and now Ace getting dove upon, at least for 5 men on the other side of the map. They continue to have a very strong bottom lane. They managed to get the kill, but this top lane it's kind of become a bit of a mess for 5 men.
It is. At one point, if she dies one more time, we'll just need to fall back to a jungle, or if Tiny gets a good rune, it's very important that you go for the runes, secure them for your Tiny when he's playing the mid lane.
No one. On the way over, starting to get the opening onto Zibe. The Remnant will pull back no one for the time being. They get the disruption out into the setup. The silence as well from RTW, pushing the 2 of them back, making sure that they can kill off Zibe with no potential save coming out from the rest of 5 men. Zayat, they've just done it again, top lane. I mean, Pi, he came in bottom to try and help. Wasn't able to do so. And again, Ace is being left alone top. And Zayat's Resolution, they just diving in. And this is before they hit their ultimates. Once these 2 heroes have their level 6,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, it's got to be considered just a no-go zone completely for this Medusa.
Yeah, I think Medusa does not go to a top lane anymore. 5 men making a mistake, showing too many heroes at the mid and the bottom lane, which allows virtus.pro to actually play aggressive on the top lane and just dive the tower.
I mean, Chessie, he's come up here to I just kind of guess find some experience. I mean, getting a kill on these heroes is very unlikely with Doom and Supernova available, so not much that Chessie can do. Yeah, I say that he's going to try and go for Rezo. Will at least force out the Supernova from Resolution, as Rezo has to pop that, the Warrior being blown up by Chessie's combo, so he's able to force that out of VP.
And whenever you see position 4 being on the mid lane, what Misery is doing right now, you know the mid laner is ganking. If you didn't kill him, if you know that he's full mana, full HP, something's cooking. Dry Ranger is level 6, so that's a ton of kill potential. Solo just got 2 Observer Wards killed. And it seems like he's gonna survive that. Chessie chasing.
I still really want to try and make something happen here, 5-man. But
Doom's
Zayat,
already level 6.
yeah,
10-minute mark.
They got such a good start on that top lane, Zayat and Resolution. After a sort of a tough first few minutes, like they weren't able to farm, but they got the kills. Now bottom, lead in onto the Vengeful Spirit. They'll find Pi.
That's not a good roar.
He's having to use it to run away, and he may not even be able to do that as the disruption from Solo holds him in place. The multi-shot won't quite clip onto Zibe, so he will live, but another ult that's been forced to be used defensively. Chessie, he still hangs around. No one's just able to walk up and combo him. The Doom's down and Chessie's gone. His Void Spirit game is starting to take quite a hit. He made that move up to top, didn't find any action, came down bottom, now loses his life.
This is the perfect run for Tiny. Like, he can just sit down a mid lane, keep farming, and whenever he sees the opportunity, just pop it and gank the side lane.
Yeah, he's incredibly strong now, no one. Highest level in the game. VP now 10 minutes in, up to a 3k lead. It just seems like another situation where 5-men have really struggled to achieve much coming out of the laning phase. They're just starting to crumble across the map.
Zayat is so farmed. He's just 800 gold away from a Blink Dagger on your position 4 Doom 10 minutes in. I don't think you're getting this kill. It's very easy to just dodge the gank. Medusa going for Hand of Midas. Just wants to recover. Well, if you go for Hand of Midas, it's very punishable. Same thing that he did in game number 1.
Well, Chessie, he dove in on this. They know that he already used the 2 charges of Astral Step. He can't get out, and the toss as well for no, and he finds himself a second. Oh, another death. Chessie's game Voice Breeze down to the bottom 4 net worth. This is, on these sort of heroes, it hurts so much to fall behind at this early stage. It's going to be so hard for Chessie to have an impact to this Void Spirit if he just keeps dying.
Next time he shows up, there's going to be another Doom ready, so he needs to be very careful about that one. Oh, it's very hard for 5-men. I feel like we might see the same kind of game that we had in game number 1, where they're just gonna run over the Twilight die. Yeah, I think he's not getting out of this one.
He'll get a few creeps. These will be his last ones. As again, another death on Pi. No one, just, you can feel it. The momentums are flowing with this Tiny. He's getting everything that he goes hunting for. There's now, 3 top spots in the net worth. All that of VP's cause. I mean, well, yeah, so Zayat has sort of become the pseudo offlaner here this game because of how good of a game. I mean, this is a 4. He's got his Blink Dagger done. He's got his Blink Dagger done at the same time as his Tiny. The double blinks are online for VP. 12 minutes in.
They could just kill whoever right now with these 2 heroes, and he's also doing a very good job not giving away any spells through Rubik. He uses his neutral creep, like he just clapped, and Rubik does not want to have
so
that.
Rubik gets a clap, you know.
Easy clap.
Easy clap. Not going to be as effective in game as it is in the chat. There we go. Smoke from Chessie and Misery. Maybe see if they can catch one here, but VP's got a lot of heroes down here. This is a bit of a scary place to fight, and you can feel it on 5-men. They're already starting to run away. Demonic Purge used on Chessie. No one trying to get the lead in Chessie. He's actually going to go with the Dissimulate over onto Tiny.
Great remnant.
Good roar, though, onto Rezo. Yeah, stops any chance for anything to come out. Zayat will drop the Doom onto Chessie. Zayat's just running in past the tower, but Scorch Staff will be able to find the kill. The Avalanche comes over to the side. Misery falls. They continue to hide Chessie in the trees. He's hoping that they don't find him. Will no one catch a glimpse of him? That he won't. The multi-shot is coming out across. The TP'd in on Ace, trying to get involved, but VP will just back away.
That's a buyback. And 2 heroes down. They're going in again.
Chessie, he's so low. He's going to try and jump over for Zayas. Gets the kill. Will begin to start following up, but ILTW finds the silence. Chessie's dead. Solo here with a disruption setup. Chessie's buying back. He's got to keep his ace Medusa safe, but he can't. TP's too long.
Combo.
And he jumps in. He's found the combo onto Zibba. It's a triple kill for ILTW. Chessie, he bought back for this. He cannot afford to die, but they're slowing him down with the... He's out. He's out of the game.
Toss him out of the game. Ultra kill for ILTW.
Well, this is looked like a quick 2-0, Lacoste.
And it really does.
Yeah.
9k gold lead. Bylai died trying to run away from the creeps. Only has a wind blaze.
no.
We know how this one's gonna end up.
Have mercy.
His TP's on cooldown.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Goodbye, Pi. Goodbye.
Solo with some Warcraft 3 surrounding skills.
I mean, what do they do?
Dire's top tower is
Chessie,
under
he's
attack.
got less farm than Solo right now.
Chessie's not having a game.
No. No. This is a rough one. This is a rough one indeed.
It was a great Remnant into roar. Like, he caught a mid-dive with the Remnant.
Sure. So he could just look back at that moment.
Yeah,
Say, hey guys,
this is the
do
only
you remember that
positive
point?
thing we have to say at the moment for 5 men, because it's looking very rough.
Yeah, not. I can't remember last time I saw a mid laner lower net worth than the enemy 5 at 14 minutes in. That's it's pretty brutal.
Dire's top tower is falling.
VP holding nothing back today in these games. And no one in particular, just 5-0-10. Chessie is going to try and go on him. He's trying his best to burst him. Pilot out, will swap back into the magic missile. Can they kill this top avalanche off? It's defensive disrupt. They can't kill him. And Chessie's just going to die again. Or
That Tiny had another combo ready because of the arcane rune. It's just falling apart.
oh, it's a good job they don't pay us by the minute, Lacoste.
Radiant structures are fortified.
That's this game. Ace. So how's Ace doing? He got his Midas. Oh no.
Dire
Oh, no.
are scared.
Doom is ready.
Oh
Playing
no,
game.
no, Ace. Oh no. Oh.
He's thinking about it.
He doesn't,
Bottom tower
he doesn't even need to doom him. He doesn't even need to doom him. Oh, they might get solo. They might get solo here. They're gonna just solo. Oh,
tower.
did he go for a deny? Oh, can they kill solo? They got solo. They got solo, but still 3 heroes dead on 5 men. Oh no, the supernova. Can they kill it?
Oh, that double supernova. Only 6 hits. I mean, only, but with 2 heroes with no fiery spirits. It's an offlane, Phoenix. So
Yeah, is this the start of a comeback, Lacoste?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Let's pretend it is.
Yeah, come on. I'm ready for...
I'm afraid, Owen, because
Yeah.
one it hits 1k gold lead per minute, then the game's officially over.
Yeah, that's right. Gaben turns up in person and calls it. Chessie. He's got Remnant for the tree.
A dark path.
It's a rough one. It's... yeah.
I have to say, at
yeah.
this point, Chessie is very good at respawning.
Yes. Yes. That's, yeah.
That's one way to say it.
Oh, 15k lead
Dire's
now for
middle
VP.
tower
17 minutes in, 29-8. Just brutal, fast-paced action here from VP. Both games. Game 1 was pretty rough. Game 2,
Seems like this is a smoke from 5 men.
I mean, they've got to do something. It's all or nothing.
Dire's bottom
What can they
tower is
find?
under attack.
I mean, you have Medusa. I don't think you just call the GG. There's always a high ground defense, but you need to make something happen. Solo's just standing there.
Oh, here we go. They get the Remnant onto Solo. Solo gets thrown by the Stone Gaze. They get the Shadow Demon. Solo down. If they do that a couple more times, they might be able to get Chessie back above him.
Yeah, they might need more smokes to actually pull something off like this. And I don't think they get too much out of that. Also, virtus.pro could easily just go to the Roche pit. With the Drow Ranger, they have enough damage. Also, very interesting choice of talents on Drow Ranger.
What's he going for?
50% talent gust. Gust blind, I mean.
Okay. I mean,
Against the boars against the necro units.
Yeah, it's
Medusa, it's extremely
Radiant's
good
bottom
talent.
tower
I mean, it's a lot, right? I guess
Yeah.
most of the time it's just, you know, carry players going to be carry players. They're always going to take what
Radiant's
benefits
bottom
themselves
tower.
individually, the stats over it. But 50% Gust Blind early on is yeah, definitely nothing to laugh at. This Roche will be an easy Roshan for VP. As 5 men, they are starting to get their way out of their half of the map. Able to push out this bottom lane as 5.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Just
is
trying
under
to
attack.
find whatever opportunities they can to come back into this.
Roshan
Already VP now on the way over. The outpost, of course, still in VP's control. Zaya's charging in. Who's he going to find? He's going to drop the Doom down onto Ace. Ace, still full HP and full mana. Rezo sweeping in from the side. They will lift him up. Rezo pops the Supernova. Can they take it out? They're turning with the Zeus. They can. The egg will fall very quickly. And now over towards Zaya. They may be able to get themselves the Doom. Magic themselves out. They get themselves a 3rd kill here. 5 men. Now can they get out? Because no one. He's ready to take on the world. Ace going for the TP out. Have they got any cancel? They don't. Ace and Misery will make it away there. As 5 men able to find a 3-for-2 trade.
And once again, you see this Doom not giving away a single good spell to Rubik. He uses his Hoof Stomp immediately, or whatever it's called, Centaur Stomp. But, you know, this shows signs of life.
Yeah.
5 men, you know,
Radiant
get a couple of
standing.
kills. Medusa is one of the heroes in the late game that, you know, especially with paired up with Vengeful Spirit, that you don't expect this kind of damage to come through.
Obviously no one. How's his progression going? He's
Dire's
about
top
3/4 of the
tower
way
is under attack.
on his Aghanim Scepter and very close to hitting level 18. He's maybe eyeing up some solid potential here, but they're going to jump on him. They're going to find the opening, but he's still got that haste rune going. Remnant won't catch him, so no one able to speed his way out of their bottom lane. The push coming in from VP as they'll look for an opportunity
Dire's
to take
bottom tower is under
tier
attack.
2 away from 5 men down on this bottom lane. That's to push ILTW very close to having his Manta Cell complete. No hold of this down will be attempted.
Dire's bottom
Still
tower
respecting the
has
fact that
fallen.
VP are very much ahead. RTW has the Aegis. It's very hard for 5 men to take the fights head on. There's no one. There's hunting for Pi. Pi able to put that Blink Dagger momentarily on, caught out with Wave of Terror, but not long enough as no one's still able to jump in. Pick up another kill as this Tiny just continues to ball out of control.
Is there some kind of a battle pass reward that I'm not aware of that Twilight Die is going for?
I don't know. I mean, you're right. There's a lot of achievements nowadays. You get battle pass points for everything. So maybe
Dire's
maybe
middle
is
tower
at the
is
moment. I
under
mean, what's his
attack.
KPA right now? It's not looking too hot.
Have you ever seen a mid laner being the lowest on the network chart? I don't remember, but this
Dire's
one
middle tower is
could
under-
be
Dire's middle
the
tower
game.
has
And it's
fallen.
looking very rough for 5 men.
He's managed to get back ahead of Solo now, Jesse. You know, so he's on the road to recovery. It's a long road, very windy road.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
There's no one.
It's very hard for our observer to catch all the kills. Tiny is just out of control in this game.
It's just everyone. No one is having a beautiful time on the Tiny. This is. I feel like we've seen a lot of games where Tiny, and when this hero pops off, it just really pops off.
Has been killed.
And in the hands of some of these tier 1 mids.
Still almost 2 full minutes left on that Aegis. Let's try to pressure the high ground with their heroes. This is the build that I love to see when you have Tiny in your
Radiant's
team,
top
someone going for
tower is
Veil.
under attack.
Just amplifying that magical damage. Also, we see more often when Tiny is being played as position 4, Blink Dagger into Veil, just to have that extra damage from your burst.
On VP. I can pretty much do what they want here, especially with, okay, no one actually adjusting the build rather than the Axe, just going for the AC. Yeah, it's going to help them, of course, a lot with the building push. But they're soon to be coming in with VP. As 5 men, the best they can do is prepare from the high ground. Pi tries to step out of the base. Is he going to live? He's getting beat down by the illusions of the disruption, and they will finish him off. Paladai gone again. AC out now for no one, so the push of VP is going to be incredibly fast. So what sort of hold 5 men could do. Ace, the the only real hero on 5-man's lineup with some semblance
Dyer's
of
top
farm.
tower
He does
is
have that,
under attack.
at least the Manta finished on top of the Midas, so a bit of a way to get out of the initiation from VP, a chance to pop that Stone Gaze despite ILTW throwing out the Gust.
Full AC on
Dyer's
some extra damage, extra attack speed for the team, minus armor on the buildings. Aegis will be gone in 20 seconds, so they need to be careful about the timing.
Radiant are scanning.
As a guy who builds weird items, Owen, would you go for Divine Rapier straight away on Medusa?
I think you have to. I think you really do. I don't see any other way of this turning around. Ace has got to go, and he's got to dream big. He's queuing up the halberd. I mean, I guess sure that is going to help against the physical damage output from either the Drow or the Tiny, but is it going to turn things around though? It just feels rough. I mean, obviously 5-men are in a position right now that, you know, regardless of what they build, it's not really going to make this position look much better that they're in.
virtus.pro might take a fight, try to go for a gank, see what happens, because they don't... I don't think they can do that much on side of 5-men. They might lose a hero or two, but they can't take the Roche. Tier 1 tower's already gone. So I feel like virtus.pro can allow to play like more aggressive and risk more.
There we go. They're going to try and open it on no one gets the avalanche off. Brawl comes through. Zara jumps in on the back line. The Stone Gaze comes out. No one's able to turn in time though. Starts to retreat. You have Solo coming in for the side, trying to help out Pilot with a swap back. No one will be saved just in time by the disruption. The Sunray's coming out. No one. He's still alive. Finally, the Magic Missile finishes him off, but the Doom's down onto Ace. ILTW coming in for the side, kicking out the damage with the multi-shot. Misery just accepts his fate. There's no escape for the Rubik. I mean, they kill no one. They do have to use pretty much everything. They still lose 2 heroes themselves, losing their big old carry as well as one of them. As now VP, they don't need no one alive to start pushing the high ground with this. ILTW starts chipping away at the tier 3.
But this is what I talked about. They can afford to lose a hero, but you have another hero who's beyond godlike, and right now they can put some pressure. Next Roche might respawn in a minute and 20 seconds. Don't necessarily need to end right now. Hype it up. Hype gone.
Yeah. Chessie gone again. The tip's coming out. They're able to tip Ace out of the game last time. Let's see if they can tip Chessie out of it this time, VP.
Dyer's middle barracks is fallen.
Dropping them tips. As this mid lane Rax torn apart.
Dyer's middle barracks has fallen.
As this lead for VP. I mean, today VP, they came to play. This series is... It really has been, I feel like the most one-sided series we've seen here in the Immortal League. This 2-0 has not been a nice one for 5-men. This one's been pretty painful. As they come in with the egg. The egg this time around may just be successful.
They're gonna get it.
They do get the egg. They'll lose Zippe for it, but they get the egg. It's a kill. It's a kill, and it will stop VP for now. The rest of 5-men able to back up and refuel.
Oh, Divine Rapier.
He's going for it.
Yeah, he's
all right.
For it. Still far away, you know, on Medusa, but I think this is something that you need if you want to somehow manage to make a comeback in this game.
No, he's got to dream big. It's the only way. The only way they can have a chance of turning this. Halberd, as I said, they just wouldn't have done anything to change the state of the game. But now Ace may not even get the chance to get the rapier. They dive in. Zayas in with a 3-man stop. This one, they're probably going to start dropping the Gs.
I believe this is it, though. Yeah. Chessie is the first one to call it. Man, Chessie had a rough time in this game. No one popped off. He was all over the place. I think the lane setup, what VP did, how they played this game, it was just amazing to watch, you know. And the VP, they're not fooling around. They came here to play Dota. They looked a bit shaky.
Team Liquid's turn to ban. NIP's turn to ban.
So we're gonna talk about Liquid Ninjas in Pajamas for a little bit. By the way,
Yeah, so Sheever, who's playing?
woo! Liquid Ninjas in Pajamas is playing. The question would be, how have the teams been doing?
Terribly, from what I've seen. I think this is our doubleheader haven't won a game yet series right here.
You are actually correct.
That's no need for such surprise, but thank you,
10
Sheever.
seconds remaining.
Why are you so surprised that Slacks is correct?
Slacks, what's your favorite player on Ninjas in Pajamas?
Yeah, shut up, Sheever. You think you're so smart. This really pisses me off. I love
PPD.
Go, Peter.
I think Peter's gonna come out and represent NA with the force of 1,000 suns.
Team Liquid.
Yeah, so I do like Saberlight though, real talk.
Ooh.
He is my guy to watch on NIP for sure. And Liquid, you.
I think I gotta go with Era.
Liquid does not play on Era. Era does not play on Liquid.
Yeah, he plays on NIP. Please keep
Plays
up.
on NAP. We're
I
talking
thought
about
you just
NAP.
asked for Liquid.
No, I was just
10
going
seconds.
off.
Sorry, I thought we were still talking about NIP. I was thinking about Peter. Sometimes I get distracted.
That's fair.
Yeah, Boxy's definitely my favorite. Actually, you know, I like it with Taiga because he plays Dark Willow.
Insania. That's the boy to watch out for every
Insania's a-
time. He's
Liquid.
Dota's sweetheart.
So I knew that I liked Insania the second that he made Sind mauled for 2 days straight. He got in an argument with Sind in Kiev. Yeah.
You want to do it? You want to do it?
Yeah,
We
on
don't want to
three.
do it?
1, 2, 3.
Bye.
Take off the analyst panel.
Later.
That hurt.
The analyst panel.
Go over there. Do it.
Dude, we did it perfect. We were so lined up with each other. What a great idea. Thank you.
NIP's turn to ban. Team Liquid's turn to ban.
So the term that we use to refer to that panel is commonly known as the fluff panel, but usually they can at least get some substance out of it. That was the
seconds
fluffiest
remaining.
yet, I think. But 3 hosts, where could you really go wrong? What's a better ratio? Maybe it's 2 analysts. I got Lacoste, I got Jenkins. We are here with the battle of the losers. I mean, it's the only way I can brand it. NIP has not been doing well. It's a lot of red showing up in their match history, and Liquid as well is looking to scoop up a win. What is going on with these 2 teams right now, Lacoste? I want to see something better.
Oh, for sure, for NIP. I mean, I didn't really have high hopes for
5
them,
seconds
but
remaining.
I think this team could play better than what they're playing right now.
NIP's
They
turn to
changed the
ban.
captain. Not sure that's working out for them because I really rated Soneiko highly, and that team looks like on completely different level what they are right now. Team Liquid on the other side, I think some of their losses
10
we can go back to
seconds remaining.
like drive slash execution, but still having high hopes for Team
5
Liquid. It's
seconds
the team
remaining.
that's been together for quite some time. You know, they know what they're doing, and they can play top tier Dota, no doubt about it.
The teams they lost to as well are not bad teams.
Yeah.
Like they lost to Secret. They actually took a match off of Secret, and then lost to Viking, and they took a match off of Viking. So, whereas with NIP, it's just almost all red on their Dota, but it's not looking great for them.
And this is the stage of, we're in the group stage still. This is the opportunity in which you really need to start being able to make your way into the upper half if you want to make it confidently into the playoffs. And so things not looking great for NIP. So in theory, should be an easier matchup for Liquid, whereas NIP are just hoping to put anything on the board right now as they start off the draft. Vengeful Spirit, Clockwork picked up for NIP. Team Liquid getting a Doom and a Rubik.
It's a possibility that Team Liquid just adds Grimstroke on top of that, having double Doom, double Lift, Fate Bolt, you name it. It's just that strong of a combo. I don't see it being banned out. They go with the Batrider. Okay, they might shift back to, after seeing this Batrider pick, the Oracle. Yeah, they really love that hero.
I'm surprised to see a Batrider come out and no Oracle ban. Like that's like the hero right now to counter it. Abaddon as well. We've seen
10
OG
seconds
pick
remaining.
that. There are answers. I think a lot of teams aren't willing to pick that hero as a 5 though. It's basically just OG
seconds
that's picking Abaddon. But maybe more teams will pick it up.
Yeah, Insania definitely has a very, very soft spot for the Oracle. And is there any lane that this Batrider is specifically trying to target? Because in the previous series, we also saw some good Batrider games. It was sent mid versus a Nature's Prophet. Did not really do as well as we were hoping, but the hero itself is still very, very strong. Is this just because of a Doom, or is it just because it's a very, very strong hero right now?
I would say it's probably just because it's a strong hero. Like maybe there's something that they're going to pick in the rest of their draft that they think a Bat really enables, or maybe they just feel like Bat's a really strong hero and that, you know, getting at second phase is really overpowered or something. I don't see why, you know, Bat versus Doom is like particularly good, or Bat versus Rubik. The nice thing about a Bat draft is that it's such a, you know, specific hero to counter that if you pick a Bat, you know what you're going to be playing against. You know you're going to be playing against the PLs, the Slarks, the Oracles, and that gives you a bit of an advantage in the draft. I mean, it's a risk, obviously. You're literally playing into counter picks that are going to happen, but you're still playing into heroes. Io's another decent counter to the Bat. The Lasso in particular, you just relocate people out.
Yeah, they open up with the Venge, so they have like one hero that is extremely good against the Batrider, so they don't have to care about that one. But I would love to. Okay, NIP Luna. This is the hero that I've not seen since I believe Unique was playing in the Divine League. They're pretty much the only team who actually ran it. I don't have high expectations of this hero. After the Helm of the Dominator nerf, the hero just does not seem that good.
Her aura also got nerfed substantially.
It did.
So I would imagine that the advantage that she has is, I don't know, maybe you can farm the jungle a little bit sooner than most other carries, but we're seeing Sven usually fulfill that type of carry. What exactly is it something specific with the Venge that kind of encourages this Luna pick? Because it seems like there's not enough justification quite yet.
To me, this looks like NIP. They're kind of up against the wall. They're playing against a team that is very likely right now of a higher caliber. I think they're probably feeling that. They just want to. This is cheese. This is basically cheese without committing to something crazy like a Pudge or a last pick bird. Like nobody thinks that this Luna hero is good right now. They're just saying, okay, well let's build a draft around it then. Let's pick the Venge.
Yeah, it's a great way of thinking. Let's just build the draft around a hero that's not good.
Like Secret did it with the Omni. I mean,
you can't really compare NIP to Secret. Secret is just from different dimensions.
This is true.
So then what is the Luna offering that other carries wouldn't be able to offer?
I just don't think the hero is very good. It's could be like a possibly snowbally lineup where it opens up the road.
Yes.
10 seconds remaining. NIP's turn to ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. NIP's turn to ban. Liquid's turn to pick.
Talking about the mid spirit, and that's Ember one. It still feels like a very good Ember game, or they can get something like a Tiny, something that's not threatened by a Clockwork hook shot. They have Pounce, they have Rubik to get someone out of the trouble, and just the burst damage against these heroes sounds very, very good.
Yeah, they definitely need something to do stuff. Okay, well there's the burst damage. It's a little on the squishier side and a little on the riskier side, but I suppose Doom and Slark are going to be going in and manning up, so. All right.
I've seen Lena as a 9th, 10th pick, and I'm not a big fan of it, especially when you play against a hero like a Batrider against the Clockwork. Clockwork just destroys Lena.
Yeah. It's always it's always a huge hit or miss hero. Like it looks really good or it looks really terrible in feeds, and it's essentially a support.
I'd say Lena looks great first 20-25 minutes of the game, especially in the laning stage, and then just doesn't feel like the hero in terms of, you know, using that net worth as some other mid lanes are using it.
Yeah, you really just hit her with one stun and she melts to basically anything, especially with minus armor.
What do they need? Like, they have no AoE damage that goes through Slark's ulti. What do they get? Firefly? I don't think that's enough.
That's not enough.
So
You're
what do
looking
you...
for ground targeted damage, basically.
Possibly something like a Kanka comes to my mind. Just having that X mark that he cannot dispel. And it's a good matchup against Lina.
I think you can still run the bat mid and pick something that's better against the Slark. Like I'm kind of feeling Axe. I know Axe is not the greatest in lane against Slark, but it's a really good game counter. Legion is another hero that's like that. Legion would be better in terms of saving from the Doom. I feel like you probably do a bad mid. Just dodge the Slark. Get out of that lane.
I speak for
Oh, okay.
Last pick, Nature's Prophet. So who are NIP looking to send mid here? Is it going to be the Bat Rider or is it going to be the Prophet?
I still think it's bad.
Okay. Most likely against the Lina we're anticipating?
Yeah, I think I don't see why Lina would do anything in that matchup. You definitely have kill threat as Bat versus Lina, and then the Nature's Prophet will do incredibly well versus a Slark. That's a tough matchup. You just can't deal with the physical damage and the trainings.
This whole series looking like a tough matchup. The odds, despite the fact that neither of the teams have picked up a win quite yet, still NIP have more losses overall, so heavily favoring Liquid. But Lacoste, based off the drafts, do you really think it's a 1 to 4.75 kind of draft, or maybe not quite?
Just by looking at the draft, I would give them more chance to win to NIP for sure. This is the kind of a draft that, you know, can pop off. We've seen what virtus.pro did in the previous game with the Nature's Prophet. I mean, they had Lycan, but Luna can fulfill the same role, I would say. Still, you know, I'm still favoring Team Liquid in this one. It's a great Slark game. I expected some kind of a AoE ground stun damage that can control him. And he is with Io, so that's the hero that's gonna buff him up, save him when he's in trouble. And yeah, I think Team Liquid has this one.
Yeah, I'm honestly just not a believer in the Luna. That's the big thing for me here, is that I feel like their NIP is basing their whole draft around this Luna hero. And I don't think it's good. They clearly think it's good. I'm totally open to being proven wrong. Secret proved me wrong with Omni Knight, and it clearly has a place, but I think Luna's, she's looking rough right now.
Yeah, I think given the way that the draft evolved, it seems like they're the Aghanim Scepter build, as if she goes for something farming oriented, a Slark will be able to beat her in a carry-on-carry matchup, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Prepare for
I think you can go like 1 or 2 items than Ags, but Ags is for sure pick up this game at some point, unless she's completely snowballing. In that case, like, items don't really matter that much.
Then let's see what this NIP draft can do. Hopefully they can pick up a win, because they desperately need one as we move on to game number 1.
That's right. Both of our teams need a win here at the Omega League. Neither team has managed to pick up that victory, but obviously Ninjas the Pajamas elimination is very clearly on the line for them right now, Fog.
Yeah, and I mean, when you're elimination games and you're going for this Luna, I don't think anyone else has picked Luna at all. I'm definitely curious, but I'm in the same boat with Jenkins. I'm not sure about this hero either. I was asking Brian too, because I'm like, Brian, you know, carry guy, what's up with this hero? And he's like, I don't know. I don't see Luna. So I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with it. I'm expecting some innovation, so it looks like potentially maybe some type of like aggro kind of lane here they're going to style with.
It is something that they have tried once before. The Luna pick didn't work though.
Okay. I guess like they do have that way to just like the tower taking and everything with revenge, with your Nature's Prophet. You get pickups with the bat and the clockwork, right? But still feeling it to be kind of hard because there is that Slark versus that Bat Rider, so he's always going to have ways to play around it. I don't see great options for clockwork either besides Lina, right? Like hookshotting Doom, kind of tough. Doom's a pretty built-in tanky kind of guy. Io can tether out of it. Ruby can lift and throw you out of it. Slark can pounce out of it. Yeah, it feels like Liquid does have a good amount of planning here in particular versus those opening picks of Nip.
So Liquid seems like they felt it was very important for them to get the right lane matchups here.
Yeah.
They were sitting inside of their base trying to determine what their side lanes were going to consist of. Now, Ninjas of Pajamas did have that very, very deep ward at the bottom cliff area, which probably should have seen the Doom run out to lane.
Yeah, I mean, both teams. I don't think I've seen both teams be so like adamant about getting those lane matchups, just because those wards are very strange, right? Like, don't really see that so often. They get the Slark versus the Bat. They're happy. The lanes need to be swapped immediately from NIP. Liquid reading the situation perfectly.
And so we're probably going to see Liquid respond with some TP plays of their own.
And they'll win that one there because Bat already TP'd. Slark's now bottom. Doom can make his free TP toward top and can switch their lanes and NIP can't respond. And now they even have like a Lina versus Nature's Prophet mid, which we didn't get to touch on too much, but seems pretty okay for Koifa.
What why didn't Boxy TP?
I don't know. He's still holding it.
He could have just went deep. Oh, I guess he just wants a creep.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. But I mean, still, it's a lot of time wasted, and now by the time you do make it to that top lane, they're gonna be level 2. They kill threat you. Yeah, definitely confused to see why he's not TPing him. Now he obviously can because Era is standing on him, but
yeah, he's just gonna shadow Boxy the entire way.
Okay. I mean, now he will TP. Not sure, Cap.
Well, Rubik's gonna get a fast level 2 at least.
Yeah, I mean I guess that's okay. That's fine. We've seen that a couple of times where they're able to do that. And Taiga, very experienced Rubik player, but they saw the bat, like they saw him.
Yeah.
All right, well, you know, it's okay.
It feels even worse because it's not like Boxy got something that was value. You know, the Vader Mana Stealer. Not sure if that's the best pickup.
Not bad versus Venge though, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
It does chunk that mana to reduce like the stuns and the pressure. Yeah, it'll work out. It's okay. Just weird. So yeah, lanes though, I think Liquid has to be the happier side for sure. They get the matchups that they wanted.
And we've got our lane matchup, the Lina versus the Nature's Prophet, which both you and the analysts were saying this Lina is going to make the Luna's game very hard.
Yeah, I do think so. Just your low HP, just your look at the threshold. It's always going to be there to be able to set up for those Laguna combos.
Even later on when you get BKB, there's an Aghanim for Lina, so she does that pure damage to threaten you.
Yeah. And I mean, she does have to watch out. That's the one thing, right? Lina has to watch out for these heroes that get on top of her, the Venge, swap the clockwork and stuff like that. But because he's mid, he's going to be enabled a bit more. Taiga, looking to get aggro on him here. I think we got for that there. Okay. Surprised Charlie actually went over. I guess he wanted to make sure that they can interrupt the pull. Okay, I don't know. He's just trying to zone him out, I guess. He lost his courier for it, though, to creeps.
Yeah, that's a little awkward.
Core players and their courier usage.
Yep. They just can't seem to handle it.
No. And this is this looks like such a flame. Like Clockwork and Batrider versus IO Slayer. You don't do anything down here.
No.
It's a free farm for mid game. You can't actually pressure Insania, and they can turn and get aggressive.
Yeah, Mickey is going to start sealing up some stats. He may not be able to kill Saberlight, especially with Era coming in and doing a nice cogs, but still. The amount of damage he put out, it's going to kill some of Ninja's Pajamas economy as they started burning through that regen.
And I feel like if you want to be able to do those plays like I'm mentioning about getting on top of Lina and stuff like that, you want Era to have a good game.
Yeah.
But Era is not going to have a good game down here. He's going to be shut down pretty hardcore. And already we see those, rune rotations coming out. Taiga checks top rune. They didn't check the rune for the Batrider. So now Lina gets a full regen filled up. For the Nature's Prophet, sorry.
Nice. It's not even like Era, like in this sort of situation, I'd be looking at this lane and be like, I don't want to be here. I'm going to go gank top. Try lane time, right? But Saberlight, he probably doesn't want Era to leave because he's so threatened by that slug with the extra movement speed from the IO tether.
Yeah, I think they actually just have to pull lane. I don't think there's anything else you can do down here. Pull lane, make plays top, have your Nature's Prophet TP and set up for kills, right? Like, just leave Saberlight on his own. I don't see Era accomplishing too much down here.
Bolts on to 2, plus a lot of Scorched Earth damage there. Ninjas and Pajamas are pushed back.
Get a courier.
Okay. Not too bad. Trying to get the distance right now to be able to get the cogs pushed back. You can see Mickey's trying to limit that distance. He's stopping his animation after he attacks every single attack to try and keep it as possible. The cogs finally goes out. One hit from the IO, but that's not enough. 20 HP is what he'll survive on. And Era can start backing out of the bounty runes if he wishes.
Did he get bottled? I think it looked like he got bottled.
Maybe, yeah.
Because he was a little bit lower. Maybe saved him, maybe didn't. Either way.
Yeah, and he gets given the bottle by Saberlight to go refill it. Once again, damn, that damage.
The beauty of having that hero mid.
Yep.
It's pretty crazy much. I was actually looking at the math on how much it is as a spot. I'm still looking to get aggro. Bit of trade here. Saberlight trying to turn with a TP from Supreme.
2 seconds till the tether is back up. They need the distance to make sure Insania gets that long jump away.
Nice by
they do manage to stop it with the battery assault and get the kill anyway.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean, Nature's Prophet 6 so early on. That last bounce, it does almost 800 damage at level 1. Or it's like 696, I think it is, if you get it on the exact last bounce.
Yeah. and then you throw in like the null talismans. Exactly. You get some extra percentage out of that. It starts becoming pretty insane.
Yeah, I like when people utilize it as maximum. It's like immediately when that 6 comes, you go for those aggro plays, and they did that really nicely. Good TP2, like we said, from Supreme, pressuring tower a bit for 2. So far, some really nice moves by him. He will have to respond to mid though, because you leave mid versus Lina. Lina can poke tower pretty effectively as well.
Yeah, who's gonna head over there? 'Cause it seems like Supreme really wants to stick on this bottom tower, and Koipa is actually going to be the one to rotate first.
Tower, I think, is pretty much in deny range.
Yeah.
Arcane Rune TP, so not as ineffective there for Koipa, and they will secure themselves that deny.
So Ninjas the Pajamas, they'll get that early tower lead.
Yeah.
And we'll see if they can actually build on that. That's the start of what they have to do with Nature's Prophet, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just look, I mean, especially because of how bad that bottom lane was potentially going to be, right? That Bat Rider versus the Slark, Clockwork 2, they now enabled the bat a little bit. Mika's going to have a place to farm freely now, but now they can open up and make more plays on top to shut down the Doom, which they've done a pretty good job of. Bach,
yeah.
He's only level 4.
Not a happy camper, that's for sure. Tries to soak some of the experience of this hard camp that's being farmed, though. You can't get too close because Charlie having that level 6, plenty of kill power.
Yeah, always the threat of the TP rotations from Nature's Prophet too. Quite fun.
Radiant structure.
Trying to trade here on the tower a little bit. Didn't see what happened to his catapult wave. I guess he wasn't able to actually successfully set up a pull.
Here comes that Fury on box. Try and juke into the trees, stay out of sight. So Charlie can't lose that ultimate, but he doesn't even need it. Thanks to all that physical damage. Good blocks by Supreme. Toss back here into the Dang. Very nicely comboed. Unfortunately, Koipa's out of mana, so they're just going to have to go for the attacks, but it is enough. Era dies for Team Liquid, and a second regen rune for Koipa.
Very nice timing there. And with the phase boots, he has that nice physical. I actually like that he went for the phase boot. But I think this little slight bit of movement speed and turn rate when you're playing versus Bat Rider are actually super effective. And you've got that extra right-click punch. He's got Laguna. They want Charlie. This could easily be a setup here with this ward.
Smoke's gonna break. They spot Charlie. Charlie sees them, and he's fast enough, stays out of range.
Nice move. Nice dodge.
Another one would be the face against these treants, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be Nature's Prophet, can very often kind of get on top of the Lina and threaten him. Or her. Going to start building into the Yule Scepter. Here comes that first ult from Charlie. It's the kill on Insania.
I mean, they're making real good aggressive moves early on with every single time Supreme has ulti. Like, even then, he did try to throw it out there. Sure, it didn't bounce down there. But, yeah, they're being very active.
Looks like a team to me that came a lot better prepared than they had in some of the previous matches that we saw.
More comfortable. I feel like it's more comfortable heroes that they're used to playing as well, too, right? Like same with on his bat. Charlie, as you said, he's played that Luna before. Off to a pretty damn good start here, all things considered, because they did have that. Liquid was the one who swapped lanes and got the lane that they wanted, so you'd have to be in a pretty happy position here as an IP that all these things did play out like this.
Would like to see them, like what they're doing here, giving Era a little bit of solo experience, since they do have, 2 cores that can spend a lot of time jungling and stuff. They gotta boost these sports experiences. We're about to hit 10 minutes and neither one is close to 6, so.
Yeah, we're about to start hitting the big mid game, and they can utilize these, they can utilize that Nature's Prophet ult so well if Era does have those levels. So yeah, definitely like that move. He's soaking that one up. He is still very under-leveled, though.
Meanwhile, you said that Ninjas the Pajamas feels like their draft is very comfortable for them. Do you feel the same about Liquid and their lineup?
Not so much. I don't see them really play these heroes as often, right? It's usually Koipa playing more of his style. I don't see him play the Lina that much. Sure, he does still play it, but yeah, definitely different. I haven't really thought of them as so much of an IO team either, so.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire
Smoke
are scanning.
wrap. They see the Rubik, and I feel like they're just going to have to settle for that kill. They didn't want it. They wanted something much grander, but sadly, this is all they're gonna get. It is in time for that 10-minute siege dragon push, though, so they're gonna get some nice damage on this mid tower as a result.
And Supreme comes. He's gonna have Orchid any minute. Yeah, sure has it. Wow. Okay, 10 minutes treads Orchid with the Bloodstone, or with the Blightstone. I mean, this is really fast timing versus Lina Doom. These heroes are very threatened by this Orchid early on.
And Liquid do not formulate a response fast enough. They lose that tower, which was pretty much full health, to one simple push. Now, granted, this is a lineup that is going to have to play it a bit slower and pick and choose their battles, right?
Absolutely. It's just, I'm very surprised how poor they went after like lanes. Just because of a couple rotations. It's got nice body
This
blocks.
was an optimistic play, and it would have been cool. Okay, they actually maybe no, they're not going to be able to get anything out of this unless the Orchid comes out. No, immediately breaks down the tree. So yeah, a pretty optimistic play from Ninja's Pajamas. It would have been really sick if they pulled off a swap into instant lasso, but now they're going to be in a really nasty situation. Supreme knows it too. Just stopped, turned around, and started attacking people because they relocate from the side. It looks like they're going to be able to get the pounce onto the Bat Rider here. Charlie playing the in and out game, trying to poke at these heroes, but Mickey is getting so strong off the stats he has stolen. They just didn't have the firepower to be able to truly turn and fight Liquid.
I think they have to be thankful that they didn't lose more heroes there. Era actually hook shots in.
Era decided to go back in and sacrifice life for Koifa, and that's because the Wrath of Nature is up, as is the Eclipse with the neutral creeps. They actually tank up both of the Eclipses there. A very minimum amount of hero damage being done by either side with those two spells. Nice planning of the GG branch to be able to block out that little hole, but he is still going to be found here inside the trees. He does another play here, but he has no TP, so he's going to have to Quelling Blade through, but eventually there is going to be a dead end. His fate is sealed, and Ninjas of Pajamas get their 8th kill.
I like how they just turned up with everybody on both sides, right? First Liquid, it's like, uh-oh, that relocate's coming out. Good positioning for them to get some setup kills. The Lucent Beam, I feel, actually saved that Nature's Prophet. Look at Guna was mid-cast animation.
Oh, yeah.
And then they can actually turn it all around because then Liquid overchases a bit there. Great reset by NIP. He was like mid-animation of Laguna and that mini-stun. And because of that, Nature's Prophet gets another ulti off. Those big bounces come through.
It's a little bit scary to me that Liquid was able to take a fight against Ninjas of Pajamas without having to defuse the plate yet on Blark.
Yeah, definitely. And it didn't have to really expend anything big, right? That was 4.5, 5 ultimates that came out from NIP. A swap, Wrath of Nature, Eclipse, Hookshot, and last. It was everything. I said 4.5 because there's still one swap left, but Liquid didn't have to use any of theirs. They just like kind of chased them out here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree with that there. They will be able to back up and farm some stacks though, where it's very beneficial that they were able to push Liquid back, because now Liquid can actually make an aggressive move themselves to contest this.
That being said, Ninjas of Pajamas, they're going to still hit a really big timer here in about 5 minutes, right? Another timing will be around the BKB of the Luna, I'm sure, but once you get that like first stat item, and you're probably going to get your what's Silverlight's current build? He is a bit far from the Blink Dagger for now, so maybe a little bit longer than 5 minutes. I guess we'll have to see. But once you get that strong combination of initiation plus the stat build up on Charlie.
Yeah, definitely strong. And they have they have all these little items that build up. Like Era, I see he's gonna have a rough game. He's actually done pretty damn well, all things considered. Look at his net worth. He's got a drums. So if they're all grouped together and IP with their ultis combined, their team fight's just stronger than Liquid's on paper, just straight up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be up to Taiga to kind of change that one if they get a Doom setup, isolate certain heroes. But yeah, NIP, that group with Clipped, with Nature's Prophet ulti, it's a lot of damage that Liquid's heroes can absorb, because they're fragile. It's really just Boxy who's that tanky boy on their team. Everyone else, very squishy.
Misha makes the call. Time is of the essence here. Smokes up just him and Era. Saberlight is going to kind of blindly head on into the enemy jungle here. Looks like Liquid has made the read of what's going on, though.
Yeah. They have all their ults, though. It's their go time to try to make something happen. And Liquid just playing a lot more defensively. A very passive kind of game style from them this time around.
Yeah.
Only 3 kills.
Again, something that feels like a little bit different. I wonder if those losses to, like, Secret is, maybe an expected loss.
Sure.
But like Viking GG, I have no doubt Liquid looks at Viking GG and says that's a team we should be able to beat, right? And so maybe they're maybe some of that has changed the game plan for Liquid and how they're going to approach these matches for the rest of Omega League. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, this one's just like, all right, Mickey, you're Slark in a pretty good match, a core-to-core matchup.
Yeah.
This one's going to be a lot on you.
It kind of looks like a nice hook shot there from Era's going to be able to find the initiation onto Boxy. Flame break into the Cogs push is a cute little combo that guarantees a bit of extra chain stun.
Liquid kind of looks a bit lost with the way that they're playing a bit. I think they're realizing like there's just no way that they can fight, so they're probably just like, hit creeps until we actually do have Diffusal Slark so that he can feel a bit safer. Quakefoot just probably feels very worried because if he walks in, he's so fragile. They just don't have these, they don't have anyone that can actually tank any of these spells, really.
It kind of feels like to me, Liquid have the sort of lineup where they've just kind of gone ahead and said, we're the better team, like we're going to kind of just draft ourselves at better late game and wait for the enemy team to make a mistake. Like they just make one or two errors and then our Slark will take over the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely what it looks like, because they're all just farming. Like, and look at Quakefoot's item build too, right? Got the Yules, hasn't used it yet this game, but he's just like, I need to farm for BKB, because there's too many things I have to play against that get on me.
The truth is, though, Ninjas in Pajamas, they haven't really made any mistakes just yet. They haven't gotten themselves either a big lead, but they are doing a good job of trying to take more and more map control, pushing Liquid out of their own jungle, and still maintaining a high level of farm on this Luna and the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very fortunate that they took the tier 2 bottom. They actually they can take this outpost. They can actually take the double outpost pre-20 minutes, which you do not see very often in these type of games.
Yeah, which is something that Liquid, they kind of have to formulate a game plan. The problem is that it's very obvious. Like, you kind of have to just 5-man into that bottom outpost, which is something that Ninjas in Pajamas, if they want, they could take a full 5-on-5 there. Boxy turns around, just goes straight for the Doom because he was being threatened by Era here.
There's the reload.
The relocate's going to come in to try and ensure the kill, but they are actually going to fight back here. Supreme is going to show up and try and quickly kill this IO. Insania trying to dance away to the trees, doesn't quite make it. BKB activated by Supreme, so instead they're going to go for Boxy. Boxy is going to be able to bring down Saberlight here. Boxy runs the opposite direction of the rest of his team. They all retreat down as he runs up.
They're going to go in
still hitting the tree. Yes, look at that. Supreme doesn't have his BKB anymore. They still have the double damage onto Luna. The Orchid goes out onto him. Yule Scepter is going to quickly remove that. Now he starts getting off some of those spells. Throw out the Laguna Blade, threatening. And he managed to get away. No, the last bounce does manage to kill him, but still a big win for Liquid as they clean up on that team fight and end up wiping Ninjas in Pajamas ultimately, because it all started off with a clockwork kill.
I was very surprised how they actually all TP'd down to fight. And then I saw, the Nature's Prophet BKB, but you can't hold your ground. As soon as that BKB starts ticking away, you know it's going to happen. Mickey will take over this fight. It's a very, very good Slark game, all things considered in this one. I feel like they forced it very hard there on the side of NIP going for that. Like, Era wanted to set up for the play, but you're not killing the big hero. You're not getting Slark. You got Lina, but this game, as we said, it's all about Mickey. This game is Mickey's game to carry.
That's super scary. Taiga has a Black Dagger, and I bet he could probably hold on to the Eclipse if he really wants to.
Yeah, and he can probably like almost solo kill a lot of these cores here with that max level lift with the combo too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some time, 80 seconds if he does choose to keep it, but that's so huge for Liquid. Now they're completely online. The Slark had just finished Diffusal Blade and he got 3 kill cleanup. So he's probably approaching that next item on top of that Luna. I mean, whenever you have a Luna and you see now that Slark is 13 hub, well, I mean, they obviously don't know, but we do. You see this net worth disparity, you're going to start getting very concerned. Luna wants to play Luna wants to play like an item ahead of Slark, and now you're going to be behind a full item. Yeah,
on top
they're
of that,
taunting. I mean, that's some confidence there.
They're definitely feeling themselves. And Ninjas in Pajamas, another thing that's going to be denied by not taking control of this game and not being the leaders is this little lineup that can do Roshan. They're supposed to be able to build off of that. That's a way that Luna can continue to maintain dominance in a game. Is, yeah, maybe you're a little bit afraid of being bursted down by this Luna, but you get a second life and all's forgiven.
Yeah. And also, I mean, that aggressive play bottom, now they're not going to actually take... They took the tier 2, but they're not going to get the outpost. They're not going to deny it away because of that aggressive move. Like I said, I feel like they forced it just a bit too hard down there rather than playing it just a tiny bit slower. I feel like they just were like, hey, Charlie, you have to show up. And now Charlie's probably like, damn it, dude, why'd you guys make me go bottom?
Yeah, he was working his way towards that BKB, too.
Yeah, and like we saw there, he really needs it in order to stand his ground. I mean, they're going to keep smoking. They're going to keep looking for these aggressive plays. Every time they have Wrath of Nature, they are making sure they do look for some type of kills.
Yeah, they can't really slow it down. Saberlight's going to start approaching the high ground here. Blinks. Okay, that was like a 400 range blink. Straight down. So I'm not sure if that's exactly what he wanted.
Wasted smoke. That's like an impossible kill anyway with the IO behind the Slark.
Would you try it if you're Supreme? Would you TP to that outpost?
Oof,
You
no.
got BKB.
They still have a couple seconds to take that outpost away, but nah, it's not gonna happen. Do they not realize?
Maybe they forgot.
I mean, it's just chilling there. They take the tier 2. I really thought they would take it right away afterwards, but
he's gonna be able to see this rotation coming from Liquid. Doesn't have the mana. He could pop stick charge and try and hook shot away if he really wants to. He's got the hook shot up now, but isn't even going to try. I think he maybe could have just hook shotted over to that hard camp.
Yeah. He was a lot tankier than I think that they expected to with that Essence ring, but gives up a kill. And because he's tanky, I think he gives up like 6 or 7 stacks to the Slark now too. So Slark in a better fighting form if a fight does kick off right now.
And also speeds along his process of farming through this jungle as well.
Breathing room. Can all push their lanes out. They don't have to worry about some annoying clockwork too. Yeah, Liquid getting quite a bit more here out of the map now after that little bit of a shaky start. And they can get a deep aggressive wards down too. So you were mentioning about that Roche. Now they're going to be more aware if NIP does look to set up around that area.
We're going to check out the Roche pit here. They do have their BKBs, so Ninjas in Pajamas, I feel like this is where you're kind of all in.
But Liquid also has
to keep forcing fights.
All right, I think Koikfa as well just picked up hit. I think they're actually going to have triple BKB on Liquid in a second.
Jesus.
So I think they're going to match perfectly versus NIP's probably like, oh, we got this power spike. But Liquid, they've got the power spike to match right now too.
And that's what you're talking about, where Luna's supposed to be a item ahead. You get the BKB before everybody else. You run into a fight, pop Eclipse. It's like, I've won the fight. This is over. If you're on even grounds, though, then Eclipse doesn't do a damn thing.
I see Liquid already drawing the line too. It looks like they don't want to defend the tower. They want to smoke and catch people on the retreat.
Yeah.
And let's see if they're able to.
Maybe they can catch them if they push forward into the high ground.
Actually got high ground
that may be a perfect opportunity. Telekinesis starting things off. LSA, it looks like the Bat Rider's just going to die right away unless the swap. No, Koifa's going to hunt him down with a Laguna Blade, and Misha's life is forfeit as well. Maybe even a Courier. Yeah, they'll get that too. Boxy pushing forward with all that movement speed is helping to spot somebody here. They still have to relocate, and they're going to relocate right on top of Charlie. They're going to buy back onto Misha here. He does have the swap, but he's going to need it too because Charlie's in some trouble, has been doomed up. He actually does an offensive swap instead, and Charlie gets some time to lay out some Laguna Billy damage as he's bouncing back and forth onto Boxy. The relocate back out now. Boxy no longer having his BKB, and the Doom is starting to wear out onto Charlie. He's got to be careful of the Lina, though, and it looks like the Bat Rider is the one who stumbles a little bit too far forward. Instead, Taiga, who'd stolen the swap, manages to get Boxy to safety here. Supreme with the BKB teleport out will be fine. But it's still a terrible fight for Ninjas of Pajamas. I mean, they fought back for that and didn't really get anything good.
Fought back and died on the both of them immediately. And now, I mean, what, 22 stacks on the Slark. He can run around and continue being even more aggressive. Oh, boy. They've hit their timing absolutely perfectly just to match it. Like we said, NP, if they were an item ahead, that would have been perfect for them. They would have been able to take it, but smoking onto the high ground as well too. And now, like we said, it's 22 stacks on Slark. He's looking for fights.
Looks like Mickey wants to go for Supreme instead, and Supreme doesn't have his BKB back up, but they didn't have a pounce either. Charlie, oh no, he has no way to be able to cut through the trees, so the stolen sprout from Taiga is going to be able to find this kill. Downside to being a range carry, I guess. Oof.
Oh man, it's starting to get out of hand real quick.
Yeah.
Make it 509. Oh my goodness, this Slark is massive. And like you said, full item ahead on top of Luna. Eye of Scotty is, in my opinion, one of the most insane items when you're playing versus range carries. You don't attack, you don't move once you get hit by it a couple times. Yeah, all the way up to a 5k gold lead, and Liquid's really starting to snowball now.
The hunt continues, and Supreme
has to.
That's another BKB charge down the drain.
Koikfa's even going for his own right-click damage in this game too. He's starting to feel very confident with that Grove Bow. That distance he can...
I mean, Koifa is going to scale into a big right clicker. Boxy went for the Devourer Gold, so he's just going to continue to get bigger and bigger. Like, they're going to have 3 cores that all take over the game, while Ninjas of Pajamas, they have a Furion and Luna, who we've been talking about, both operate from being ahead.
Yeah, I can see. I'm sorry, like, when we put it like so straightforward like that, right? You can see why Arrow was really trying to force stuff bottom, right? They're trying to force the issue because that's what their draft is about. It's about mid-game, get ahead, and staying ahead. Once you start falling behind with this draft, the game just becomes so difficult to play. Especially now that your Bat Rider, your initiator, he bought back too, so like he's a lot poorer. He's so susceptible. And now they don't really have a true frontliner in their draft. Where we were mentioning, like Liquid didn't before, the Doom is tanky enough, but NIP doesn't have that. Their frontline is a Nature's Prophet with BKB for the most part.
They have an idea of where Liquid is, and this time they're going to be the ones on the high ground here, trying to get the initiation on the Slark, but looks like they got him. No, the relocate comes in. Oh, no. Bails him out. Misha barely got away with his life as the Laguna Blade by itself almost killed him.
Oh, that was such good preparation by NIP too.
Yeah.
But Liquid, they were there at the ready. Yeah, definitely tip your IO there.
It's so hard. Like, maybe if you're against like the Abaddons, even Oracle, like it's pretty long range, but dude, Tether is the longest range save. Bat Rider, it's so hard to play against that. You just cannot pull them fast enough, far enough away.
Oh man, that's so unfortunate. I thought maybe if they had him there, that could be a big snowball route. I think because it's right around the Roche area, right around this entire area that they want to play with. But now they expended so much. Now Liquid's going to be full on the aggression themselves. They only have to worry about the Slark not having BKB for about 20 seconds or so, but they know not a whole lot enough for NV mid.
Offensive swap actually going at Boxy. He gets ripped apart by all that physical damage. Another swap going out as Misha pulling Taiga into a position. Nice stolen swap though, but it does manage.
No Koifa! Taiga, why would you do that to your cores? And he swaps again, but he's dead.
What the?
Okay, I was about to say, somebody tip Taiga for that, and that's exactly what Ninjas in Pajamas do. They know Taiga just gifted them a free kill on Koifa.
Godly aggressive swaps coming out from Misha, and not godly defensive swaps coming out from Taiga, throwing Koifa into the midst. And like we mentioned, it was around Roche. They did that without Eclipse. They did that without a lot of their ultimates there. They caught Liquid with their pants down.
They really did. Think Liquid, they felt so confident. No Eclipse, look how, like, we've been winning every single fight lately. We're almost complete with Scotty. We almost have that Daedalus.
Oh, man.
And now, Ninjas in Pajamas, they've been given a new lease on life. They've got an Aegis.
Aegis, Halberd now finished. They just got a full item up on the Luna, too. Now, like you mentioned, that second life, especially versus a hero like Doom, will be so much more beneficial. And get time to get those neutral items too, get themselves that Titan Sliver.
And it feels like the physical damage of the Luna is beginning to ramp up.
Yep.
They've got the double aura combination as well, the Venge and Luna together.
Yeah, wow. I'm just very, I think it just had, fully, this Liquid had no idea that they were going to try to make an aggressive move without ultis up, so got to be a little bit more careful, especially on Boxy's positioning there. He was very far away from his entire team. Now they're on the back foot versus this Aegis. How quick things turn.
Radiant's top
Charlie all the way up to level 20.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Got the 8 stats talent.
Radiant's
Slark is about to get his level 20, and he's just now grabbing his Scotty. So.
Okay, so I mean, he's still happy, but now he's playing into some counters that he can't get rid of, right? These halberds, they've already got the one in the Luna. I believe the Clockwork is about to have one finished up as well. So these disarms can really change the tide of those fights. Slark is a tough time playing against those.
Having like save so much. That hook shot nicely picked onto Insania, trying to keep him from being able to tether away. The tether goes out, but the battery assault stops it. They keep the silence on to Mickey forced to use his BKB here. Trapped inside the Sprout, though, is going to have to go for the Shadow Dance. Pouncing. His rest of his team is drawing close, but Ninjas in Pajamas, they have so much good chase here. Another Dark Pack that wears out. Swap? No, not quite there for Misha. He tried, wasn't close enough. And now Boxy, he's going to be the target as the swap goes on to him, canceling his TP. Swap back into the rest of the team. Bolt charges used to be able to get an important core kill.
Man, they're just owning Boxy this entire game too. I feel like he hasn't gotten a very successful Doom except for that one top every single time. It's him like just trying to bail out his teammates or just dying to this right click. And NIP now they have an option to go high ground.
Yeah, the snowball rolls forward and crashes into the tier 3. It's gone. The barracks are going to die
Holy
in
crap.
very short time.
I cannot believe after Liquid acquired a 7,000 gold lead, that NIP is able to take this back over here. This, like we said, peak timings for them. It's all about this early on-ish game. And Charlie has gotten so much. I mean, it's 2 6 packs just off of that.
Mickey, he's going to come in from behind, see if he can kind of sandwich the team. Relocate out is going to be able to save Koifa here, but Taiga is going to be left behind. And Mickey's trying to build up that damage on a Supreme, who activates his BKB. The buyback coming out from Taiga does steal Lucy's beam. They're just trying to slow down Supreme as much as possible. God, he's doing really good work. They did manage to can the Slurk while the Dark Pact is down, chaining up the stuns. They need a little bit more. Mickey trying to get up away, but he's dead. Caught by the wrath of nature. Boxy eliminates Batrider, who does not have that buyback, but without their damage of the Slurk, can they actually win the rest of this fight? Boxy going in with the Doom, but Supreme standing tall. Laguna Blade's gonna lay out him, and he does fall. A dieback for him. Liquid do manage to appropriately target him down, but it's gonna cost him so much as Koifa's gonna be slowed to a crawl here. He dies as well. All 3 of the core's lives trashed. And now
just go for the base immediately. They used everything. Like Slark's dead, Laguna was used, Doom was used. I think this is game.
They just buy back on Doom and Alina. Like, what are they possibly going to do without Laguna Blade, without Doom?
They're going to kill this tower very fast here with those auras. Once that tower's down, the glaive bounces come in too. I'm pretty sure Liquid just gets Mega Creeps team. Buyback from Boxy, but
gonna be able to push him back into the rest of the team, chaining up with the missile. Nicely stunned, relocate out. It actually does save him. And Boxy with a Centaur stun did so much work there, but he is gonna be able to get away. But the buildings are still in trouble, and Koifa has to quickly run back to lane, trying to slow down Charlie as much as possible. Here comes Taiga, jumps in, immediately telekinesis into the Fateful, but Charlie's just focusing on these buildings. Just get the Mega Creeps. It's just 3 tracks left, and he quickly gets it. Ninjas the Pajamas are gonna be losing heroes here, as they're probably going to lose the Luna twice. But it's Mega Creeps. It's Mega Creeps at 31 minutes in. Liquid, if they're going to come back into this game, it's going to be a long, long haul.
All right, cue up the Battle Fury on the Slark. It's Mega Creeps. You're versus Nature's Prophet, and there's Mega Creeps. There's like, probably like a what, 3% chance?
Yeah,
I think less than that.
Very
Probably like a 1 to 3% chance at maximum that they can come back with this. The gold lead is actually not that bad, but I don't believe that 8% is generous.
Yeah, I think so too. Ninjas in Pajamas, like, they've got plenty of options, whether it's the Furion doing his Furion things, they've got the Luna, who does so well at being able to cut down those tier 4 towers if they ever get a chance to approach that base.
You have 40 seconds where Luna's down. Let's see if Mika can get like a ton of stacks built up and chase, and then when Luna respawns, they insta-kill him, then they can go throne or something, but as long as NIP just does not go outside the base, they're fine here, because the creeps are going to push into the base, into the enemy base.
Everyone hang out around your tier 4s. There's nothing else you need to do here.
Wow. I'm still very amazed how quickly they turned that one. Just a small matter of moments. And now it's a full butterfly on the Luna too. Luna does not have buyback though. He does commit all his gold onto that butterfly. But look at this bottom. Those creeps.
Yeah, look, it's gonna have to back up eventually here. Okay, they're going to try and maintain their offensive front by relocating back.
All right. There's still a second wave coming in though, bottom and top.
Ninjas in Pajamas are gonna go out for that relocate.
Okay.
And they're going to be met by all of Liquid. This is going to be a 5-man fight that they could potentially lose. Bounce back of the Lotus Sword does quickly stun up Nisha. A lot of damage on the bottom. He's right in the middle of all this. When he does get lassoed up, trying to get the save from Insania. He's going to close, but he's taking too much damage. The Slark gets blown up, and now there's no buyback from any of these heroes, and that should be it. It's a Ninjas in Pajamas. All they have to do is finish off Koifa, the only damage dealer left in this game. And that's it. Taiga may have gotten away, but he's the only one, the sole survivor.
Wow.
G, man.
Team Liquid, after a kind of like, I wouldn't say like fully botched laning phase, but a laning phase that NIP takes advantage of because of Supreme's movements.
Liquid's turn to ban.
A belt that prevents us from leaving Earth. And I said, wait, didn't they find an alien? And he's like, well, you can't go to the moon. I was like, but last week we were talking about the alien that was on the moon. He goes, well, those guys figured it out. And I'm like, what's happening?
I told that story after you told me. I told that story on stream. My favorite part of it was he refers to aliens as grays, right?
Oh, the grays.
Yeah. As I told the story that you said, and somebody in my stream literally goes, look, you don't understand the radiation belt.
They're here. I mean, let people believe what they want to believe. You know, have some fun. I like conspiracy people. They're critical thinkers.
I like conspiracy theories. I understand. Look, the whole point of being a human is to ask questions and try to figure out what's out there. I just think it's funny when the two things, like when you have two conspiracy theories that literally say that the other conspiracy isn't true and you believe both of them. And I think it's fair to be critical of that.
And some of the conspiracy theories have also in the end proven to be true, right? At least, you know, that's why they're called conspiracy theories, is because there was a conspiracy.
That's right.
There are definitely, like, I wonder what the ratio of true theories are.
Probably not very high, considering the large amount of conspiracy theories out there. There's a lot of conspiracy theories about Hollywood as well.
Yes.
Hollywood?
Yes, those are the ones that Owen.
Very disturbing.
Yeah, the thing is that, so there are, at first, the people who made conspiracy theories had like limited technology, right? Like not everybody could do it. And that was with everything. And then the world changed, and now we can all, like, they're just like, you can do whatever you want. I can make a mixtape right now. I could literally, like, I could sing a song right now. Somebody could clip it and turn it into tape. We could literally have the three of us on an album, right, in like 5 minutes.
And we can sound like absolute god-tier angels.
We could.
Are you sure?
What's up?
Yes.
We are the hosts.
No, because you can edit it in post. It's not because you sound good now.
We're the hosts. We came to sing the most.
I'm the host, and my name is Slack.
My name's Rich, and I'm the guy.
Oh, good luck, community. You got
Cheever, you gotta sing.
No, I won't.
No, I won't. No, I won't. No,
My name's Cheever, and no, I won't.
My name's Rich, and I will.
My name's Slacks. Could someone kill me? Thank you. Anyway,
how could I ever top that? There's just no way. That's just, you know, I think you guys would look great on an album together.
Especially with this wig.
Oh yeah.
Wait, I thought it was real hair. What?
I have less hair than him.
No.
I do want to point out that when you're on the draft panel, when you're shown in the camera above in the Pantheon, that looks like your hair.
Dang.
Absolute.
Oh, it looks natural?
Yes.
I actually, I think I look better without hair than with this hair in actuality. I don't think I'm meant to have this much hair.
I've been on panels before, and I got messages from people that work in like men's hair thing, and they're like, hey, I heard you're in Birmingham. I have a clinic. Do you want me to help you? And I'm like, no, I don't need help. I like it.
Aging is beautiful.
It's just a part. Just let it go.
Journey.
You know?
You know what also is part of the journey?
No. Don't bring us to the panel, please.
Okay, you want to throw it to the panel?
No, go ahead.
All right, well, let's head into the game 2 of Liquid versus NIP and see if Liquid can change the tides, because so far they are not doing too hot today.
Don't leave. No.
Leave. Go.
No. Go back to the flop panel.
10 seconds remaining.
That's right. Come to me. Even though those three look like they were going to drop the hottest mixtape of all time, we're about to drop the hottest analysis of all time. We jump here into Game 2, NIP versus Liquid. It may actually not be a great mixtape because we did not think NIP was going to take that game.
No, not so hot.
We were pretty cold on that Luna, TBH, and it won. Jenkins, no Aghanims build. Somehow, the Luna looked not only viable, but pretty damn good.
I think you know, shout outs to NIP. I think they played really well. They stacked a lot with the Venge. That is one thing that I wasn't thinking about in the draft, is just the fact that, you know, you have this Luna Venge combo. You can, obviously, you have the aura combination between the two heroes, and then you also have the stacking. And so they found the space to do it all game. I think numerous times the camera was on like 2 triple or quad stacks that were being farmed by Luna, and Charlie was just huge. They win one fight, they take the entire base off of one fight, because that's a 3 ranged core lineup with Venge.
I thought the game was kind of over, you know. Slark's taking over everything. He's building a lot of stacks, has Wisp, getting that Scotty. I was wrong. Like, sometimes it's all it takes, like one bad fight. We've seen that yesterday in one of those games where there was an anti-mage. You lose a fight, you lose a game. That's all it takes.
Yeah, these mid-natures...
Team Liquid's turn to pick.
Drow Ranger.
Seconds remaining.
And great on Nature's Prophet, but it looks really good. Like, Supreme was all across the map, killing people with that Nature's, taking every single tower, putting so much pressure and making space for Charlie. It was really nice.
And they're gonna go with the Venge once again, and the Drow combination. Also, there's a Clockwork. I love Clockwork as a response to these 2 heroes. Just put them inside of cogs. They have no escape mechanism. I would say the Dark Willow is okay. Has a Shadow Realm and Bedlam. So that's a lot of damage on Clockwork. Also, Clockwork is great against the Stampede from a Centaur. Just keep them in place. And they have, like, Venge Drow. I think we've seen this combo way too many times. You know, just giving her extra attack range, saving ability. And with the Centaur, they have something to close the gap, you know, just get on top of the Drow Ranger.
Yeah, definitely. I think if Clock does pop off in this game, these heroes are great for him. Like, Centaur, not a good hero against magic damage unless he goes for the pipe. A lot of people are rushing the blink. Even then, Clock does enough damage. Crystal Maiden, she's food. Willow is even food for a Clockwork. It's very, very, very annoying for her. As long as you don't die to the Bedlam, you can kill her.
Yes, Mars Band seems very specifically targeted, because Liquid is kind of doing their own thing right now, as NIP showed off that they're capable of doing a Luna, Liquid showing off a Willow and Maiden in the first phase. These are not first phase picks, but for a Liquid strategy, sometimes it works. NIP see that they may go for the Arena into Terrorize combination, so they shut that one down. Liquid instead go for the Centaur. What exactly makes Willow good or bad in games these days right now, Lacoste?
I mean, if you open up with the Dark Willow, you don't know what you're playing against, so I don't think you can say it's a good pick here. I think it's just, you know, Taiga's comfort pick. They get the Broodmother. I mean, they have hero already who can be matched up against the Broodmother with the Underlord, and he's gonna be the one building the auras for the team. There's all magical damage on the side of Team Liquid, and I'm not liking the Crystal Maiden. I mean, I love Crystal Maiden as a hero. I think she should be played more, but in this kind of a game where you have 1, 2, 3, 4 abilities, 5, you name it, that can just stop her ulti, I don't think she's gonna be getting any freezing fields off.
She feeds all of these heroes too.
Yeah.
Like, the funny thing is, Underlord is probably the hero in this draft that punishes her the least. And still, you don't look at CM versus Underlord and be like, CM's great in this matchup. You know, it's just okay. But like, Drow will shred her. Venge will shred her, and so will Clockwork. But that's the thing, is like, you're second picking a CM. This is what you expect. You can't pick this hero without getting somewhat punished.
And then you're fourth picking a Broodmother. This usually seems like a final pick kind of hero to make sure that the enemy doesn't have any solutions for what is still overall considered to be kind of a cheesy pick. NIP have an Underlord, which already seems semi-capable of dealing with the Broodmother. Do you need another hero to be anti-Brood duty?
Turn to pick.
I would say so.
I agree.
They banned out Kunkka and Mag. Not many heroes are left in the pool. You can go something different, something more untraditional, I would say. That's not a mid hero, but you can also put Tiny. Tiny's still... Oh, Tiny's banned out. Never mind, sorry. NIP banned it out in the first phase. So what is there? Like, you can get Tide as a mid laner, but then you have Tide Underlord, which are not two really mobile heroes, but still your team fight is just much, much better than what Liquid has.
I think Ember does generally pretty well. I mean, I'm actually shocked that it's not banned, but I would much rather play against an Ember than a Kunkka. And the thing with the Underlord mid versus the Brood is that Underlord will never stop a Brood from farming, because she can't do anything to the Underlord in terms of putting the spiders on him. He just presses Firestorm. But Brood just runs away from it and farms. Like, she's too quick. The spiders are too quick. So I think you need something that can actually threaten the spiders while Brood is farming and stop her from farming. But it is always nice. Like, you'd rather have an Underlord than nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you have to put the Underlord mid, you will. And we'll see if there is a pick that needs to be in response to this last Liquid pick. But I doubt it. I doubt there's very little things you can pick that require more of a response.
Oh, they're going with bugs, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
Just get Raid as the last pick. Spray on those bugs.
And it works really well, actually. Have you used Raid?
Yeah, I don't know what's inside of that,
product.
but if it can kill a cockroach, you know, that's some strong stuff.
Templar Assassin selected for NIP. So what's the mid lane matchup here? Is it Brood versus TA?
I think so.
Okay, and then I'm assuming that Liquid are going to make this a one-position Weaver, laning up against an Underlord from the off lane of NIP, I'm guessing?
Yep, definitely favors the Weaver, especially with the CM helping out, the extra nukes and the mana regen. TA is one of those heroes against the Brood where it's kind of an interesting matchup because they both farm. You can't really pressure a TA alone. With the rotation, you can. You can actually kill the TA with the spiders to peel off the refraction. You can't pressure the Brood as a TA, but the question is, do you really want to let a TA free farm? And like Brood will let a TA free farm. So I guess that's the response they're going with, because I think the TA is also good with the Drow, of course, with the Venge. So it's more like, we're going to play to our own style. We're going to play to our own draft. We don't want to pick some cheesy mid hero to deal with the Brood. We'll just play TA.
Odds kind of equalizing after that game one, but I've still got some questions about this Liquid draft. So a Weaver position 1. What exactly is the goal of a one-position Weaver in this game, the cost?
I believe they just wanted to have another hero that can close the gap, get on top of Drow Rangers. So now they have a Centaur, they have a Broodmother, and a Weaver.
That is what you sound
and
like.
it's Weaver can build into multiple items. Also, they wanted to have a hero that benefits from Crystal Maiden aura, which Weaver kind of lacks. Like, she's very mana-dependent hero using those Shikuchis early on. I would still favor NIP's lineup in this one. Drow Ranger, TA, Venge. Where are you going? We're not done yet.
I wanted to look at this this Dark Willow. I need to tell Rich about this. This is groundbreaking, man. I'm glad he's in the fluff panel right now. I don't think he could handle this level of immersion. Woo. Is the hero any good, though? That's what I want to know, because it's a first phase pick. Liquid obviously value it quite a bit. Doesn't seem like there's any teamfight contributions that they may have been able to have, but it might be able to discourage whatever, I don't know, whatever might stop this Broodmother. But we will find out as we transition into game 2 of Liquid versus NIP.
Fog, you said you couldn't see a better hero than Templar Assassin. You said it's good in lane, but sucks overall in game. And we're going to go straight to the action, apparently. As we have a heavy 4 versus 5 clash that looks like Liquid is actually winning. Managed to get the first blood and might be able to get a second blood as well. Saberlight is going to have a whole lot of heroes on him. And
he gets
if
it.
Runs into the brambles. That'll probably be it.
And Charlie.
For Insania. Now Charlie's been clipped. Oh, both from Boxy? What?
Charlie? Will he
Charlie?
live?
He's gonna live thanks to the Fairy Fire, and as a result, Era will also live for now.
Shikuchi.
He's on the hunt. Era, is he gonna try and TP out? Does Insania have anything? Okay, Insania takes the third kill. Unbelievable.
Well, I mean, now you got boots on Crystal Maiden, right?
I guess so.
Such a good level 1 fight, like, besides Brood, right? Looking at the 4 heroes of Liquid, Willow, CM, these nukes are amazing. Boxy gets some godly stuns, too.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Battery Assault against multiple heroes.
Yeah.
Underlord leveled his aura.
Yeah.
It's just not good. Plus, they're going to get the bounty runes, apparently, on the other side of the map, so...
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, what do we bring, like a bunch of mangoes and clarities and some boots for CM, and now CM has a much funner time versus Clockwork because you can actually get away from him a little bit there. But yeah, the TA versus the Brood, I think we've seen this matchup a lot of times. TA destroys Brood in the first few levels. You just can't do anything. But inevitably, Brood does just end up leaving the lane and doing the Brood things. You just hit some jungle creeps, and he's actually getting a couple denies. That's surprising. Don't see that too often.
Both of them focusing on the denies here. The Underlord is going to be soloing top lane for now, an early stomp into Brambles.
We'll see those side blades continue to be very annoying for Koifa, though.
Yeah. He's feeling the pain right now. He needs some regen, and he needs it stat.
And for said reasons, this is why we understand the matchup being Templar Assassin favored. Koifa to scurry back a little bit. But yeah, look, Boots Windlace. Look at Insania zooming. There's 345 movement speed even with them.
Think how much gold you're going to save if you get an early Tranquil Boots and don't have to worry about regen anymore. Taiga's going to suicide to the tower because he's killed Saberlight. So he's not giving up any experience. Might as well go back and reset.
They're so early on their level 2s now too, right? CM is now provided for the team, so they can make super aggressive moves top. And I like that they play aggressive. I think this is one of the key things about Willow, that people are afraid to just use your skill shots, right? Just throw down the brambles. Just try to make those aggressive moves. They will be able to get those kills. Now Arabot, they make the rotation. Taiga comes down again to set up for a kill.
No Shadow Realm, level 2 Cursed Crown.
Yep.
So he's really just wants to be running around setting up kills.
Yeah, big fan of that build. I think that's, for the most part, I think you should do that build on the 4 position, because just like Shadow Realm is just, unless it's a lane where you just can't actually pressure and you're just doing these just harassment wars, sure, you can go for Shadow Realm, but this actually always will give you better kills. And they can definitely set up kills bottom here. This tri-lane, it's strong. Triple ranged. They can all benefit really heavily off of those bugs that are going to come out.
5-1. The one bad lane right now is that mid lane matchup where we're 13-3 for the Templar Assassin. You said it's a winning matchup, but I would also say Supreme has really been the bright, shining part of Ninjas in Pajamas. He, I think, has individually performed very well for the team, even through their losses.
Yeah, I've actually been very impressed with him. I'm glad they've been straying away from like the Invoker and stuff, because like he was really struggling on those heroes. When it's one of his comfort picks, but that hero just is, he's still just really hard to make work, even if he's good now. Hera, just be pretty careful. Taiga, I mean, they're already level 3. Hera's only level 1 in this tri lane. Yeah.
Radiant Broodmother is probably better, right? Because you have close access to 2 different camps, right?
Yeah, I guess they're just a little bit closer there.
Yeah.
I'm not this big brood expert kind of person. Oh, the level of the pit might actually get him. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, Boxy just getting really aggressive, and he doesn't have any regen anywhere close. The courier's just now flying out. Then again, Saberlight's also quite low, and just one combo with level 2 double edge could definitely kill Saberlight, and that's why they're going to rotate over. Charlie, I thought that was a support that was showing up. Boxy still tries to go for the stomp and see if he can kill Saberlight here. The Firestorm and the pit. That ensure the kill onto Boxy. Looks like they're done with the Drow Ranger playing in that aggro tri lane now.
I think they just know that that lane was decimated from the start. That triple lane is not going to work when the CM gets given level 2. Same thing with the Weaver right off the bat. They have boots and so much to play around. They have to switch the lanes. Saberlight will suffer now, though, so it's like...
Level 2 Nova. It's this early is a rough one.
Yeah. Weaver full free farm drought, 4 last hits. So now they're gonna follow her, I feel. Like the Willow, probably gonna go play top just to pressure, and it's scary. Boxy does not have boots, though. He did go for that ring of health because he was in the 1v1, so Drow's distance should be decent to at least get some last hit. But yeah, he's really struggling. Koik gets himself an Arcane Rune. Very nice pickup there for the harassment. Oops, Supreme, be careful.
And this is where we start getting so many spiders that Koifa is no longer helpless.
Yeah.
Whether it's quickly farming through jungle areas, but also has so many instances of attack that he could surprise the Templar Assassin and actually get a quick kill. Mickey trying to chase down Saberlight here. The bugs are doing its work, lowering the arm of the Underlord and leaving him free to get the kill. And I like the Mickey.
Quite forgot the kill on mid too.
Yeah, this is all of a sudden a couple of disasters. Mickey almost manages to get that kill. Looks like Insania, because they chase both the heroes out of lane. They can go for those bounty runes too.
Oh, what? How is he? Oh, Supreme. We were just because you complimented him.
That's my bad.
Oh, come on. You can't give up those type of kills as TA in this matchup.
No.
You're ahead in the lane because that's the way the nature of it works. That Arcane Rune definitely was a big reason to it, but not going for boots early, I think, is a really crippling thing on the TA. When you're versus Brood, if you go boots, you can actually chase her into the camps early because you have that domination in lane.
Right.
Went for the double rate bend, so Spiders, Speedy Broodmother, they collapsed on him and he stayed really low. Yeah, I think that second rate band is greedy. I don't think you need it. Doesn't provide you anything insane in the lane compared to those boots to be able to actually run away or, you know, pressure the Brood then when she's jungling. 6 minutes, 3K gold lead.
Liquid, they're coming back in this game 2 with some fire after a surprising loss in game 1, seeing as they were at the point in time very far up. Charlie stuck in the trees here. The Curse Crown is going to put a stop to that multi-shot, and they'll get that kill. But hey, Supreme picks up the haste rune and manages to chase down Koifa. So he gets some vengeance for himself.
Still tied in net worth though with the Brood. Not where you want to be at 6 minutes. Sure, at some point that Brood will overtake you because of just the way the nature of the hero, but yeah, you want to be more ahead on that TA. Bottom, they do have the sentry down.
Gonna be able to catch Mickey inside the cogs. Mickey's in big trouble. He does have a bunch of stick charges, but that'll be just enough for him to survive. He actually is going to go back in. He's got to keep his distance from that clockwork, though.
Oh, okay. Goes for a bottle for the sustain down here. It's pretty interesting there. They did pop the Stampede as well to ensure that Mickey does get out. But now he's going back in. Era, very fragile.
Oh, the cogs pushback. It's just enough.
Oh, he had like what, a couple stick charges to it. Looked like there to be able to keep him alive. But they take top tower because of all these moves.
Yeah.
And Charlie, level 4, no boots, no nothing. He's some free frags whenever they do bring anybody up there with Boxy.
Yeah, if he ever strays too far away from that tier 2 tower, especially with the Centaur, the global haste that he's able to provide, like 1 or 2 heroes up here easily kill him. Losing that early towers
middle tower is under attack.
as an Underlord team too, that always feels really bad, right? 'Cause he's one of the better heroes to stand in front of pushes.
Yeah, and it gives them like so many ease of access now, right? Like Taiga's just like, okay, I can go play enemy woods the entire time pretty much now versus this super underlevel Drow. And we mentioned lots of different ways to get on top of the Drow, right? You know, Centaur, Weaver, Brood, these heroes, they just collapse on her so easily to take her out. Not the start that NIP wants to be in with their kind of early centric draft.
Look at that really deep ward they have behind the mid tower. They know Misha's around here, but they're collapsing with both of their supports to be able to kill Supreme. The Brambles does land. He managed to get up the refraction to dodge the nuke, but there's just way too much around, and Koifa does get the kill. And Era snatches up that regen room before he can be grabbed by the Broodmother. Spiders just climb over the cogs, though, and Koifa, he's not going to try and stick on Era by himself. He's a little bit scared of maybe getting nuked if he goes up blind, so Era will get away.
They read the move too, right? Because you saw the way Taiga moved. He walked actually through their ward. He de-warded their ward on the high ground just north of this tier 1 tower mid. So they had 3 heroes prepared, but it's too much now. The Brood has gotten away with way too much in this lane.
He still had Stampede that entire time, I think, right?
Yeah.
So they even had an extra bit of power, an extra out to be used. Era's level 3 in 9 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, I thought last game he was going to have a rough one. This one is just impossible.
They're going for Supreme again! Liquid just full on targeting him. They say the Templar Assassin is the only way they're going to be able to win this game. Now, around the pit, it's a little bit hard to kill Supreme, but now they're going to recommit outside the pit underneath the tier 2 tower. The Spiders are leading the charge, and where's the detection? They've got the Nova to finish him off, and Zany had just enough mana, and now a really good fear from Taiga that'll scare back Era as well as Saberlight. Now they're running out of webs, so at some point in time they'll probably give up on this chase. They don't need to push things too far.
They still got a tier 1 to take in the mid lane too. Even though they're diving the tier 3. I actually was pretty. I started chuckling a bit there when I saw Charlie TPing into the fight. I was like, no, you do not do this, Charlie. You are just gonna feed. So good thing he canceled the TP, but we're seeing that power, that early aggression from Liquid. Everyone just using that Stampede at its maximum.
Oh, if they give up this stack.
Oh my god, yeah. This is the only way Supreme kind of comes back in this game.
May just be able to catch Insania here.
No. Just play 4 heroes around this area.
Yeah.
You have to make sure TA gets that. And put Clockwork. Everyone get away from Clockwork too. Make sure Era gets the experience.
Yeah, Misha and Saberlight could perhaps keep their distance. They have all the tier 1 items to be dropped as well.
At least they'll secure the farm of those ancients.
Look at Sania. He knows it's so juicy up there that he can't help but see if he can get close.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
A little bit of a feed there by Insania for sure. Yeah. Trying to get some information, but have to expect that NIP was playing up on that high ground there and they're not showing in their other lanes. Charlie, he's kept the lane static. Actually up top, I believe he's just power denying up there to make sure that it stays there for a moment. Now he's starting to push it away. Taiga, he looks like he wants to be the one getting aggressive up here finally. Charlie's good. Charlie's at least absorbed some space. He's still pretty far behind. At least up to that level 8. Don't step past for this wave, though.
No, he can never really pass that point. As Liquid have full control of this high ground area. They have a nice ward around the tier 2 area. Boxy tries to go for the blink stun onto Misha. He'll eventually catch him.
I love that Boxy's been doing this on his Centaur, actually. I noticed this the last time he played it, too. It's just brown boots, one mini item, straight into the blink. He doesn't go for phase boots. He doesn't go for wand, nothing like that. He just straight blink.
Hookshot does manage to catch him in the middle of the stampede, so this is perfect to be able to bring down Boxy. Era picks him apart, and Insania, though, with his distance on the freezing field, is going to be able to get the counter kill onto Era. Nice positioning from the 5 position of Team Liquid.
Insania's he's just rolling with the punches this game, you know? He's like, all right, I'll take a triple kill. I'll get a kill on the Clockwork. Thank you, Boxy.
I feel like maybe that he was saying that he was disappointed in his team's performance of game 1. He's like, no, you guys don't deserve kills.
He's like, Mickey, you were Slark, and you had a Scotty, and you
had a free game, free Slark game. Boxy, he fed a number of times. He certainly doesn't deserve those kills.
No.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Koifa, they will continue with their aggressive builds. The Diffusal, as we've seen, of course, so many times on the Broods. Treads plus Diffusal. They can run down any of these heroes, and they're going to continue to do so. Supreme.
You're going to be able to catch him with the stomp into the Frostbite, and the spiders are closing in. Supreme's going to try and go for a desperate TP out. The damage is not thinking fast, though. The Bramble.
The neutral.
Taiga caught him, but the neutrals are the ones to claim the last hit on Supreme.
Oh, that's good. Saberlight will use the Rift. Still has a couple seconds of delay. They can't bring him down, though. A bit too much armor.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, Liquid's still taking over this game a bit too much here for NIP to kind of control themselves, because they're now losing access of their triangle. You have a TA and a Drow that are losing access to their jungle and their triangle this early on.
Boxy, don't stop, man. Immediately, somebody shows up around the tier 2. Era thought about going for the hook shot out, trying to use it defensively, but nowhere he can go. The scary part about Liquid here is that if you've watched their Broodmother games in the past, you'll know that they make this Broodmother look super scary at 30, 35 minutes. So the fact that they're this far ahead this early is very concerning. But then again, we said that last time, Fog.
Absolutely.
And Ninja's Pajamas still managed to turn the whole game around. And they've got a very similar kind of lineup where if they do win, they can take objectives very quickly.
They have to be able to win fights, though, and winning fights right now versus a very farmed Centaur, huge Weaver, and huge Broodmother.
Yeah, I have no idea how they catch this Broodmother. I just can't really see it happening, but maybe team fight like this. Stampede's gonna go out. Boxy looking to be able to chase down Supreme. Swap back, though. Misha trying to get himself out while simultaneously increasing the distance away from Boxy. Era is gonna be locked inside with the Bedlam, and there goes the freezing field, which is rapidly bringing down Saberlight. Did not have his ultimate because he used it earlier to get out of the bottom lane. So 4 dead on the side of Ninja's Pajamas, and Liquid all looking very healthy.
I think we're going game 3. I don't see Drow Underlord coming back. Clockwork, you know, I was like, trying to think away from the. I'm like, okay, they still like, you know, natural initiation from Clock, but into this draft, it's you can't even initiate into anybody. There's Weaver, the bugs are too much for you to deal with, and
yeah, you can't stop Broodmother.
No.
She literally just crawls over your cogs.
Yeah, they can't even push any of their lanes out. Everything's just pushed onto their side. They can't access their jungle. There's not really much hope besides hoping Liquid dives and that you can somehow just play based off of those when Supreme gets a Deso, but Charlie is just food to anybody at this point. Level 8 Drow. No item growth. And Liquid's just ready to fight. Look, they're like, side lanes are pushed. We don't need to address them. We can just sit 5 mid.
Ninjas in Pajamas all huddled around this tier 2. They are going to make their jump. Era choosing to go for the Dark Willow, but he's going to have it really beautiful terrorize onto 4. That's going to be able to bail off Boxy. He was really far forward there. Still going to be trying to go for Era here, but he's swapped back by Misha. So Ninjas Pajamas is going to be the first fight. They haven't actually lost anybody.
Nice defensive positioning from them there.
Swap. Insania back in. That's the second swap. Good job by Misha. They find a pick.
Very nice. Just everybody sat around the area. Everyone sat around Drow, so they benefit from that aura a bit. Something with the atrophy hurting Liquid a little. And just the way that fight kind of progressed. A pretty decent initiation from Era. If they were a bit more ahead, right, they could have maybe cleaned up a little bit more there, but that deficit really coming into play. Just how do they kill Mickey? It just seems impossible.
is our moment.
Same thing goes for Koikva as he's having a spectacular game.
They need one of those hook shots where they catch Mickey after he's been in the same place for like 4 or 5 seconds, you know? That way he can't ult to move out of the cogs and just dump a bunch of damage in there.
Yeah, I would just hope that he dives too far into a pit, into a hook shot, just chain stun, but it's very unlikely with the way that Liquid's playing this time around. Much more careful, I think, than the last time when they did get a lead. This is usually the way I feel like Liquid plays when they start to get that lead. They constrict the map a lot heavier. Not like last time when they just, you know, Boxy ran in and out of zone. But yeah, they're playing the map real well here. They've got good aggressive wards too to watch whenever NIP does kind of move out.
And Brit Mother works so well for this playstyle of theirs too, because it is one of those heroes that can kind of freely cut lanes, thereby constricting the map without risking anything.
Getting a little bit. This is what we were saying though. This is where Team Liquid's like, yeah, no, we don't need to press the issue so much anymore. They can chill back, get some farm, finish up the items here. Looks like it's the Manta finished up for Weaver, so they've accumulated a pretty good chunk of net worth here. Picking up a Vanguard too on Centaur. I believe the Ags on Brood is pretty close to being done too. So
Boxy sees a bunch of heroes that are not in their mid-tier too. So the moment they show up, he TPs. He's like, let's go. They're somebody
very far out without TA. Boxy's thinking about it.
This fight. Ninja the Pajamas, they know there's more coming, but the initiation is already struck from Boxy. They're going to be able to jump on Amisha here as well as Air. The 2 supports are dead. The Underlord will make the Dark Rift escape with Charlie back to safety, back to home.
As soon as they split up at all, they're just 4 heroes, and they're so far from their base. Liquid just still has this insane lead with their heroes, and super mobile. They can move from lane to lane easy. And IP, they don't have the fortune this time if Liquid switch on Luna. The NP is able to TP around, push the lanes out always. They're stuck on their side at a disadvantage.
Is there any item timing and swap back there into the Gust? Nice silence combo with the hookshot following up. Okay, Koifa's a little bit low here, and they can't manage to get anything off. Boxy a little bit too late on the stomp there. Weaver is still going in on Charlie here, but now he's stuck inside the cogs. The last couple of shots though. Charlie, get rid of that bump. Get away from the Dark Willow. He can't. He's stuck, and it's still going to be a massive win for Ninja the Pajamas. They lose 2, but they pick up 4 kills in the process. Fucked. That's the exact same area of the map that Liquid lost a fight last time.
So gotta be a little bit careful, guys. They didn't have I think time lapse was still on cooldown from bottom. I think Mickey had used it. They dived forward. Excellent pit positioning. And these swaps, I mean, Misha, he's on point with these aggressive swaps that they're able to get off. And NIP were ready. All 5 heroes this time were sat around that drow to get the benefit of that extra damage. And it's the Deso timing from the TA. They do have the damage. Again, Liquid. Showing, give him blood.
Can they do Roche?
No.
It's got a Deso, but feels like maybe not enough time.
No, I think it's a bit too risky. It's only, what, 20 seconds they had or something?
Yeah, I think somebody has like 40-second death timer right now.
Okay.
But I think that's probably Mickey.
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry, there's 26 seconds on the Drow as well as the Venge. If the Venge survived... Do they have Venge Illusion? Is the Venge Illusion there? Maybe that could be a...
I think it should... yeah, it should still be up.
Yeah, so... maybe? I think it's a little hard.
I would be... if I was in their position, I would be tempted to go for it just because I feel like it's different than game 1. I feel like this one team fight doesn't like all of a sudden change the game that much, you know? I feel like I want to take some sort of risk, or maybe just pushing down the mid-tier 1 towers. That's a great objective to take as well. So maybe that's a bit.
Yeah, I think it's just a little too risky. Boxy's gonna the big one, right? He's gonna be back up too soon for them to go for any type of Roche.
True.
So, yeah, this is just a little bit of a smarter play. But yeah, definitely not the same case the last one because they did lose 2 heroes still during it too, and it was their carry technically, right? Their Drow does end up dying, even though Supreme is just being that carry anyway, but...
Yeah, at this point, Supreme's probably more of the one position. Yeah. But Charlie is still a very important piece of the puzzle.
Liquid can't make too many of those mistakes, though, in a row. Even though they still do have a very strong draft. especially versus this Drow Ranger, versus this TA.
But if this Templar Assassin gets an early BKB, which he already had the Mithril Hammer after the Deso, so he's probably pretty close.
Yeah, he'll be a lot safer. Still has to worry about, there's still a lot of instances of like physical damage with Weaver and Brood, but he'll be a lot more elusive in the fights. He can pick and choose his targets easier.
Yeah, and he'll just be able to run at whatever targets he does choose. That is where that mobility becomes a problem both ways, right? Is, you know, like them being able to use Stampede or the speed of the Broodmother and Weaver just to get away from the TA. And then that same mobility becomes a problem for the Drow Ranger when it comes to running her over.
Ooh, look at this. I mean, it's the very standard build we see on most carries, right? But for Weaver, it feels different, but it's such a good game for it. Halberd versus range carries, it's the dream. So he will be going for that build. They're still kind of posturing themselves a bit aggressive, but it looks like they actually might give up that bottom tower. Probably, I think it's Quakefa maybe making the call, saying that I'm very close to Ags. Let's play on the opposite side rather than falling for a trap, playing into NIP's hands.
Oh, can we look at the Broodmother here? I always love it when he picks up the Ags and he starts shooting webs all over the place.
Yeah. Those 16 charges. We've got the bugs too. They don't bring it down at some insane pace because he's not using the hunger. Now it'll start dying a lot faster, but it's scouted.
But it's Ninjas of Pajamas. This could be where they turn the game around if they actually manage to get inside of this Boxy sitting in front. Nice two-man stomp to be able to start things off. Era sitting on the side, ready to go for his hook shot here, but they swap back Boxy. Mickey's here with a double damage. That should quickly take out Misha, but he's got to be careful of Supreme. He's going to pop his ultimate, try and jump away. He's been gusted. Pops Manta, gets rid of that silence, and quickly Shikuchi's away. Curse Crown on Saberlight, a small momentary stun. Mickey's going to come back in with that DD once again. He gets pushed by the cogs. He has to stay away from Supreme at all costs, though. That damage is very scary. A nice pit. Insania is going to find his freezing field stopped and poked apart by the Drow Ranger. While Taiga also dies, Mickey's still trying to make this damage, double damage, do its work to be able to kill somebody, but Ninja of the Pajamas playing a nice tight core here. Yep. They are moving around each other constantly, are not breaking apart and not giving the Weaver any quarter.
They're getting literally the maximum benefit of their auras, right? That Venge illusion was still there during the entirety of the fight. Drow didn't have anybody on top of her, so they get that extra attack speed, that extra bit of damage too. Really playing well around that unit, like you were mentioning.
Killing the high ground ward. Saberlight is not an easy target to be able to bring down. Be careful, no!
That is what you said.
No low ground misses there.
It's right around the Roche again.
Right around the Roche pit, and this time they've got the minus armor.
Uh-oh, this is looking a little familiar. Charlie's on line too. He's got the Hurricane Pike to save himself. Supreme is enabled. It's Weaver and Brood starting to suffer a bit here.
I don't think this is too extreme to say just based off of their score. They would be 0-3 if they lose this series, but I think more so just mentally. I think Liquid is done. If they lose this series, I don't think they're coming back.
Radiant's middle tower is under
This would be 2 games in a row where they had an advantage. They also lost 2 series, one against Secret, one against Viking GG, where they went 2-1, where I think they had chances to be able to win the games that they lost, and weren't able to put together a good enough game plan, good enough execution to close it out.
I feel like this one it's a little bit more on how well NIP played the fights compared to the last one, where Liquid kind of, I feel like they threw it away. I feel like they kind of just threw their lives in and died one by one in a way. This one, I mean, NIP just played as this bald unit. They played really well around those auras that they are playing with. So I did really like that, at least the way they set up Liquid. I feel like that was just a tough fight for them when Boxy, when they forced the Roche so hard. The hunger was used on Brood. He runs in, he's useless in the fight without it.
Yeah.
Versus these heroes, so.
Ninjas of Pajamas, their 5-man spoke. It was scouted, but at the same time, barely managed to dodge that. They had the vision. Can they get the stun? The stun won. Can they get the swap back into the rest of the team? Into the trees he goes, but he's dead.
Oh man, I mean, Misha again, these swaps, phenomenal plays. There's a farmed Broodmother. They get a good chunk of gold there. We were mentioning it from the initial, those initial betting odds, and like some value bets for NIP, it's continuing to be so, as they're really starting to gain control of this entire game here now.
Somehow Team Liquid still holding a net worth advantage, but It doesn't feel that way because they are far too scared to fight Ninjas in Pajamas right now.
And I'm feeling a real lackluster of damage on their side because they did go for the Manta. They did go for the Halberd on the Weaver. He doesn't pack a big punch. They're into Atrophy Aura. They're into these, you know, I believe it's like a mech and everything too on that Underlord. And it's a lot of auras. It's just going to keep preventing them from doing that damage. Now with the NIP, they're on the aggressive footing. Look, I mean, he's a 23 armor Clockwork. He's a lot safer in most of these situations. Everyone is very online now for NIP.
Is Crimson Guard a dead item? Has it just been replaced by Heaven's Halberd altogether?
Yeah, Halberd is just too OP. Just way too strong. Buy it while you can. Is what I would probably say.
Dude, it's a hard nerf.
Yeah.
That item, way too insane.
They're hitting high ground. It's very similar to last time.
You lose one more fight, it could be 2 lanes of barracks, could be game over for Team Liquid. This is where those nerves come into play.
Yeah, and look at, I mean, the auras, look at this Venge aura. They have this crazy attack range. Boxy's going in.
Stomp going out, Terrorize onto 3. Really good positioning. They're gonna quickly blow up the Templar Assassin, take away that Aegis. They're gonna be able to get out too. Ninjas in Pajamas, though, they also don't get caught in a low ground fight, and they can choose to go in again and try and finish up this tier 3, which Supreme will. They still have his BKB after all.
Yeah, he definitely held it really nice. Their lanes are also in a good spot, so this is pretty decent push. They have Rift in case of any real alarming stuff goes on, but they're initiating.
They're going to make their jump onto Boxy here. Boxy having Charlie. Nice forward staff is going to be able to get him out of the cogs, and he can go reset in the fountain here. This is where it gets a little bit dangerous for Ninjas in Pajamas. If they let these heroes continue to reset. Era. He goes down to about half health. The rest of the team goes pretty healthy. And Supreme, he's not slowing down just yet. Mickey. He's pushed away. Melee Barracks soon to fall.
They got, I mean, I think it's really good that they're forcing it here. They still have Greaves that's constantly being popped and healing them up. Liquid, they try to jump BKB.
Gets off the BKB before the stun could go out. Boxy actually gets really low. They're going to cancel their Dark Rift. Boxy, he dies the last shot from Supreme. Now he throws the damage at Tygo. Use the Yule Scepter to be able to get away. Broodmother, he's in trouble. He's going to be swapped back and he's dead. It's all falling apart for Liquid now as their high ground continues to be under siege and they just cannot get a kill here. Boxy goes in one more time. One last stand. He tries to go in for the double stomp, but they don't do the damage. Mickey, he pops the Manta. Going for Charlie, put a hook shot in. Cog separating the two. The Terrorize comes in, but it's too late. Koipa comes in to finish off the kill onto the Drone Ranger, and now going for Supreme as well. But the refraction, he burns through the spider. They're all dead. Team Liquid.
Oh my God, what a loading orb!
They have fallen apart. This team.
Oh, such good. Era right there. He saved Supreme. The stun was about to proc. Oh, actually, something else saved him. I don't know. Something else got it. Or mouth dispelled, I guess. Yeah. So he got something else that saved him. They can hold his ground.
They finally get the melee barracks here, and with the Weaver, maybe they can get some kills out of it. Supreme has left them behind.
They got what they came for, though.
They did. They got that one melee barracks that they were searching hard for. Nice hook shot over the side. Still Curse Crown, though. Brambles doesn't quite hit him. They're going to spot Era. One shot. Nope. Not good enough. And look at the tips flow in. Era makes a cute escape. They're up 6,000 net worth. They've taken one big building and 4 buybacks away from Team Liquid.
Supreme played, absolutely perfect inside of those. The BKB on the jump, I think it was the Mouth Dispel or something. Something removed the Curse Crown from him inside the fight where he was gonna die. Just, yeah, perfectly executed by him. They rally around their auras. They're playing at it so well here in this game. Liquid just, it's out of control. Koikfa just dying. He can't contribute almost anything inside of the fights. His biters do nothing. Supreme giving us a little bit of a clap there with the TA.
Team Liquid, a team that has a number of very good performances in playoffs of late.
Be ungodlike Supreme.
Swap back. He's got so many levels. He didn't manage to get the silence, though, so Mickey still has a chance of being able to escape here. They're going to pop the Stampede to make sure he does indeed get away.
They've lost all their footing.
Yeah.
Now it's just NIP dictating the entirety of the pace. Supreme just really, he's really owning this game. 12-4-4. He did have those 1 or 2 slip-ups, but hey, as soon as they are all able to group up, we're really seeing that power of the lineup. Liquid not seeing good ways of them to really actually bringing down these heroes. Koikfa is just so fragile.
So between the
head anytime he goes in.
They've got the Melt Dispel. Now they've also got a Lotus Orb.
Yeah.
So very important counters to the Dark Willow. And on top of that, the Heaven's Halberd from the Underlord, which they've already been having damage problems for Team Liquid.
Radiant's top tower has
It's going to make it that much more difficult.
Yeah. So many different ways to bail themselves out and protect their King Supreme.
Oh, they're going to try catch Mickey here. Surprise mass TP move. See if they can get the swap. They drop the Ward Sentry combination.
Still a tough one. They have to do it kind of perfectly because he still has the Manta to play around.
They're going to catch
Silence.
him. They're going to bait out the bounty. Swap him back in. Immediately stunned up. Beautiful combo. That's a dieback. That's 95 seconds where Ninjas in Pajamas, they have every right to take over Team Liquid's base at this point.
Misha swaps are just so on point in both of these games. He's really just, it just looks like he's completely caught Liquid off guard with the aggressiveness from it. 10K gold lead. They're, I mean, like we said, completely online. It's go time. 90 seconds. Can definitely look for a second set of racks here.
20 health regen for Saberlight, so he can quite easily tank.
Level 20s. 20 and 22 on two of their cores here. Stay rallied around Underlord.
They're going to have to fight this without their Weaver. It starts with Boxy jumping in. Okay, Supreme is actually just going to go straight for them here. Hooked on the side. That's going to be able to take out Insania while Supreme deals with Boxy.
They're all
pair up.
They're all hitting so hard. The Venge Drow Aura, it's too much.
It's overwhelming. Team Liquid, they've got 3 heroes with no buyback. And Ninjas in Pajamas, they can go for Megas or they can go for the throne. Either option is free.
Yeah, just go for those Megas for sure. Misha wants to go for aggressive swap. They can't, but yeah, look at this damage with the Drow, with the TA, with the Venge. They know they've got this one in the bag. Liquid, again.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen. Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
Crumbling.
Big time. And Ninjas in Pajamas rallying, man. Back up against the wall. Elimination certainly on the line. Guaranteed. They needed this victory. They needed to be able to put Team Liquid to be the bottom team of the groups. And with this victory, they may have just done that. One last hold here from Team Liquid up against Megas, up against a stacked 5-man of Ninjas in Pajamas, and now playing 4 versus 5. His Fox is already dead, and getting caught inside the cogs is Mickey. Does manage to get away with his ultimate, but all he's doing is running at that point in time. Terrorize quickly removed by the Lotus Orb there from Era to tier 4, soon to fall, and it's a throne exposed into the back line. Mickey throws out some of his swarm, hits a number of heroes here, but Supreme is pumping out the damage. The Broodmother, he does fall inside of the fountain. Swap back in. Mickey hit by the cogs to chain up the stuns, and just beautiful play from Ninjas in Pajamas. This is teamwork, and this is a team that will stay alive here at the Omega League.
Saving each other or the Alchemist whenever necessary.
Once they picked the Omni, you 100% had to have another burst damage hero than just the Storm. Like, Lion is lockdown and Finger is quote-unquote burst damage, but against Oracle, I don't think that's really reliable because not only do you have the ult to save, but also your second spell just makes them do no magic damage. So Storm Spirit jumps one guy, Ursa jumps the other. Lion can maybe lock down the saves, but I think EG's the better team. I think they'll execute their draft better, but I honestly... I fear for Navi in the landing stage. Ursa's pretty damn good against Omni. Alchemist doesn't really threaten anything, so Magnus, a greedy offlaner, should have a pretty good time. Storm, even though he doesn't love playing against Ember in the mid game, pretty much free farms that mid lane too. So I'm afraid that this window where Alk is maybe 1,000, 2,000 gold from Radiance, he's just not going to be able to hit any creeps.
Right, raise your hoods and call it, wizards. I want to see the hoods on as you make your guess. Wait a minute, hold on. A flashback before one more thing to think about. Yet again, An alchemist in the game. It is indeed an alchemist game.
It's an alchemist game.
Synderen.
Rich still freaking laughs about that every damn day. He just mentions it randomly.
All right, people.
Do we go with an alchemist game or do we go with the 36% storm spirit?
It is an alchemist game, but it is not his game to win. So I'll go with EG here.
Very well. Well, maybe you at home has found the secret histories of the magics indeed. We've no more time to discuss the mortal realm. Take us to the fields of unending carnage. Toodaloo, enjoy the game. We shall return. Zazaran!
Thank you, Slacks. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's EG versus Navi here for the best of 3. I'm OD Pixel, joined by Jenkins for this series, and what do we reckon? We're getting some sort of new heroes. The Omni Knight coming into play, something that we aren't really seeing any team touch.
No, we talked about it a bit. You said it. It's definitely solid against the Magnus. Puppy said it himself. It's a good Magnus counter, good against the Void. Excellent with an Alchemist. It's a hero buff to give the strength to a strength hero. So if there's a game for it, this is the Omni Knight game. I actually like Navi's draft here.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see it in practice and see what the Knight can do. I mean, this is a thing, right? In sort of the metas, when a hero becomes incredibly popular, like the Magnus, do you think there are sort of like hidden answers that the teams just may have not touched because the hero, in a sense, and in the way it's been nerfed or balanced, isn't great, but it actually has a lot of potential against these heroes that are starting to crop up at high popularity?
Yeah, 100%. I honestly think this is how the meta shifts, is through competitive matches like this. And what'll usually happen is you hit a point where, and I'm concerned that it might happen in this game for EG, where it's like you have this Ursa as a counter pick to the Omni to beat it in lane, and then maybe Ursa just sucks. Maybe Ursa's just worse in the current meta than Omni is in the current meta. And I mean, they're not even laning the matchup that they want. Omni is bot.
They're going to start with the Alchemist on the top lane with the backup of Immersion on the poor ET. Ilias as well, we'll see where he'll sell. I mean, do they sort of start as the tri lane with the pressure? I mean, Omni on his own down here, is he happy to solo lane for a bit?
Yeah, definitely. Omni will be fine. What I'm concerned about is the Alchemist. You know, people would pick Ursa as an answer to the Alchemist, and so you're aggroing with him. So they're very confident that these supports can basically lead the lane without any help, because Alch doesn't really provide much, to be honest.
Oh, here we go. In the mid lane, Young G on a dem against the GPK Storm. See GPK have some pretty impressive performances so far. Storm the other day, though, was off to an explosive start, but did start to fall flat in his face, so we'll see what he's able to do with this time round. Top lane, aggression onto Immersion, and that's going to find them first blood there, EG. As Immersion getting a little too close, and sure, they've got a tri-lane on the aggressive Navi, but the tri-lane of EG is also very good at turning and getting kills itself.
Yeah, man. Oh, Ilias, too. I don't think Crit has the stun up. Still, a lot of harass. I mean, like you said, like, this is a hard lane to play into. I mean, Ursa's a hero you would pick previously to tri-lane. Now they have an Enchantress with a Creep, with the Wildkin against 2 melee heroes. Man, this is tough. And then Lion's a stunner. I mean, how can you go wrong?
Yeah, we'll see what Navi is able to make happen with the idea behind this tri-lane. At the least, see if it's able to secure the Alch farm. At the moment, it doesn't look to be. He's only got 1 CS, and again, Immersion stepping forward. Swipe start to stack up. He's going to be fortunate enough to not be in the reach of the crit and his stun this time, so he will live. But we're seeing already the far for Arteezy, 8 for 3. Only 2 CS on Crystallize. Jump over towards Immersion. Will be saved there. He's able to remove the slow from the Earthshot, get Immersion out of it. But it does seem like a rough start to go tri-lane of Navi.
It does, but, you know, Beast Coast is a team that actually does this frequently. And I think one you can take solace in is the fact that you always have the triangle to stack for the Alchemist. Like, he can always back up to that and just go farm. Like, he's right by the best place on the map to farm as carry. So, worst case scenario, he can go there if this lane goes extremely south, which it's pretty rough so far.
On the bottom lane, of course, with all the action being up here with the 3 versus 3, we're getting this 1v1 between Pasha and Ramses. Mag and Omni Knight at the moment, we're seeing Mag having the CS advantage, and I'm sure Omni's still farming, but I guess this is expected. What with the Empower, Magnus is going to have the better time and the easier time at getting the denies in this lane.
Yeah, I think a big thing there too is just that Omni is a relatively weak hero. Oh, Alchemist, be careful, buddy.
Another stun, and the X-Flight heading over with the impetus as well, and trying to crystallize out of this one. Can they save him? They can't. Ilias cannot hold back Arteezy in time, finishes crystallize off with an Earth Shot, and this top lane just going from bad to worse for Navi.
Honestly, I respect the decision. I think it's a very interesting choice to try to go for this, but I think if you're EG, you're very confused. You're like, they're aggro into Alk, but we have an Ursa. Like, we would maybe aggro into them. I think you're very stoked about this if you're an EG fan.
Oh, it's easy. Get in the free farm for now. And as you said, we'll see if they do start to create some stacks for Crystallize, start to build up that recovery mechanism for this Alchemist that is struggling so far in these first few minutes of it.
Yeah, and they haven't really been able to stop this Enchantress from getting her creeps. Usually, if you can block the camps, you're fine. She's not that big of a deal. But with Elder Titan dying so early, she just has free reign on those camps.
Mid lane, at the moment, pretty even CS between Young G and GPK. Slight lead for GPK on the Storm. 23-4 against the 19 for 2. Fly. Found in the river. Ilias and Immersion will try and chase him down. They do hit him with the stomp, see if they can get positioned for the further bit of burst. Fly pops the Fairy Fire. He's also going to have another one in a few seconds. And even at that, he's able to get out of reach of the two of them. They just can't kill the Edge. This is the power of the Enchantress, right? It's a very hard kill to find. It doesn't matter, just level 2, just popping the heal, walking away. Unless you've got a significant amount of burst, Fly's going to be able to do that every time.
Hero that loves building Fairy Fires and has the early stick as well. He was holding the charges, so really not much of a kill threat there, and he knew it. So we do have level 6 now on Young G. He can't, or sorry, he's level 5 actually. I'm crazy, but he will have level 6 soon, and both of these heroes are relatively decent at rotating. I think we're going to need to see that more so from the Ember Spirit here to break down this game.
Oh, look at this bottom lane. It's actually started to go pretty one-sided now. 35 and 11 on Ramses compared to the 18 of Pasha. This match just nearly doubling the farm. Do have the stacks coming up, but this is going to be scouted out by EG, so they know the status of this area of the map.
If EG can take these stacks,
I mean, they've got the mag, haven't they?
They've got the mag, and they have Storm as well.
Oh, man. And Navi's got to protect these or clear these up sometime soon. It's going to be hard, though, with the low levels on Crystallize. Just the 1 point and the spray right now.
There's going to be a big fight for these stacks very soon. This is the entire game plan for both teams at the moment.
You think there's no way that EG just let this go?
No, absolutely no way. And I think Young G knows that too, so he heads over.
Yep, he's going to be able to push straight out of the area. Crit will turn with the stun. He's going to look for the denies. The creeps won't be able to make it. Ilias takes him out with the final Purifying Flames Duke.
Okay, so still saving it for the Alk. I was thinking maybe the Ember Spirit's going to take it just to prevent EG from getting it, but I think Alk needs the help. Crystallize is having a rough time. He really needs to get those stacks, and honestly, maybe even takes slow XP if he can. Get that level 6.
GPK also able to get lucky with the power ins. DD will be his. They're looking at Young G. There's no vision on the high ground, and Young playing far too close to it. They're going to open up the initiation from Crit. He's got the remnant out in time, though. They didn't quite have enough control. Young G is able to make it away there with the 1 charges and the TP back to base to refuel his bottle. Well, that was living on the edge there, Young G. It looked like he was a goner.
Very close to disastrous, especially because there's a siege creep mid, so they just take the tower if he dies there.
There we go. EG starting to push over towards these stacks. That stack's been already brought down a little bit, so GPK could actually clear this pretty easily with a few remnants. As Arteezy, GPK, and Crit, yeah, EG, they're going to be able to get the lion's share of this stack.
Yeah, they know the strat. You know, the Beast Coast classic. This is exactly what Beast Coast do, except a lot of the NA teams, the SA teams won't contest like EG will, but you know, EG, they sniff this out.
Now look at towards Crystallize. Arteezy and Fly, they're not going to want to dive him though. Still knows backup sitting behind him. Bottom lane, Ramsey's getting got on. Get the Stew off, popping the RP as well, just to make sure that further purification can't come out from Pasha. As Ramses will be able to keep himself alive because of it.
Man, he is so farmed on Magnus. I did not think this was going to be such a Magnus-favored lane. Like, Omni typically destroys melee heroes, right? So I think it just... There's definitely a player skill difference there that's happening, as well as Magnus has just been buffed, and Omni Knight has been weak for a long time now, so... Not the great laner that he used to be, with the low cooldown on his Q.
We'll see how Navi can find find ways to pick Crystallizer's game back up. He's going to head to the jungle and the top lane. Now, Vartizi having the serious levels, level 6 on the Ursa. It's a very scary place for the Alk to be. He's sort of just got to stick to the jungle now. He's going to give a lot of space for EG to make the most of the 3 lanes. And maybe look for action as well. They're going to try going with the grappling Young G, but Immersion's there. Keeps him covered safely with the stomp.
I bet Ilias might die for that, but now Crit doesn't know what he's walking up into, so he doesn't want to be too aggressive. Just farming now.
Obviously GPK going for that straight orchid rush again before the bots. Feeling that he's having a pretty good opening to this game, so just getting that silence online before any sort of defensive items are complete by the cause of Navi.
Very greedy. Greedy build, I would say. Definitely super punishable, but with how the game is going right now, they definitely have the space for it. Both of these 2 side lane cores are almost impossible to push out of lane.
So Young G and Ilias coming out with the smoke movement. They'll find Crit. And they will take him, and Crit is going to make him work for it. In fact, Crit with these disables is buying time. There are 2 more members of EG over here. They're not actually going to come across, and as it is, Young G and Ilias just don't have the control to kill him. They will turn and look for the bigger kill instead. Ramsey is with the steal cross, gets them in the stun. Ramsey should still fall here, and he will do so. Ilias with the Purifying Flame. They will actually end up picking up Crit as well. EPK is going to look for the cleanup in return. Turns over towards the Ilias kill and will find it, so gets one. See if they can get anything more here. GPK with a bit more mana to play with, but doesn't want to go back in onto Young G, not knowing could be hidden behind him. But all things said and done, Navi actually able to find a big kill on Ramsey. He's just coming a little too close to the action whilst he was very low on HP.
Yeah, a little surprising. He was kind of playing like he had more backup. I mean, between a level 4 Lion and Magnus without RP, they don't have much damage, really. Like, those are really beautiful double stuns from Crit, but still playing 2v2, and I think the Navi 2 are a lot stronger.
Dire's bottom tower
is under attack. Badger is going up Young G in Immersion, making sure that GPK is not able to get the refill on these. G, so we're going to try and grab this. Yeah, we'll be able to do so. Extra space made there by Immersion with the stomp. Wise this game, Young G just going straight for the Yules. Sees that Oblivion stuff, and GPK knows that he needs some way of removing that ASAP.
So they have a DD on GPK. I think this is probably the time to consider going for a smoke. I don't think you want to let Alchemist farm like this. Not when his game was so rough in the early game. They might be waiting for an item. They might be waiting for like Blink on Mag, maybe the Orchid on Storm. But very soon they want to start pressuring, I think, on EG.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Look at the drums done on RTZ. He's very ready to run at heroes. He's been playing as well. Fly and GPK. With the DD making some pretty quick work off this tier 1 tower. Quick dodge of the stomp. Young G has come in to start to build up a defense with Immersion. So there's enough to push GPK away. GPK wanting to make sure that they can find that last hit on the tower. He's going to be able to get it as well. Tower down on the mid. More money into the pocket of GPK, which will continue to push him very close now towards the Orchid.
So normally, you don't really want to take these 2 towers as your first 2 towers in the game. But there's an Alchemist on the enemy team, so you want to take those Ancients away. You want to take the Triangle away from him, because that is the last beacon of hope for a team to farm, and that's all you need as an Alchemist. You farm there for 10 minutes, you're huge. So this lets them now move into the Navi jungle, like you would in a typical game, and then Alchemist doesn't even feel safe in his Triangle.
He's going to step over to see what's going on around here, but there's a lot of members of EG. Gotta be a little cautious. Immersion now joining forces with him to try and push EG out of this area, but as we've seen, they've already cleaned up all 3 camps. Start making the move as the 3 of them. Ramses, again, this early farm that he has. Very beefy on the Magnus. Just show up in lanes, not worrying too much about any of Navi doing anything about it. Yeah, to protect that rune, it's going to be a regen. One of the dream ones here for GPK. We'll see if he's ever made some sweet plays with it. They're actually going in onto Young G. Young G, he's going to throw out a Remnant. See if they want to try and chase this. The Impetus will do a little bit of damage, but nothing to threaten him too much. Ilias also by his side, so no dives to come in, but still just controlling Navi. EG continuing to keep all 5 members here just farming aggressively on Navi's half of the map.
Right, once again, I really love this play to... Oh, I hear Storm.
I think he's just going for creeps.
Oh, he's just killing some creeps. He's got the regen, so he's using his mana. I really love their call to just stay in the triangle, because think about if you're an alchemist in this game, you're farming your own jungle with those 2 towers gone. Like you feel like you're out in the wilderness.
It's so tough for the out. And look at these 2 deep wards as well from EG, having one in the jungle, one over towards the entry point of the triangle. Like, they're going to be able to catch these movements. It's so hard for the out to get out and farm without EG knowing exactly where it is. Crit will be rushed down here. Navi able to make the jump with this smoke movement. Fine crit. Actually not really the ideal catch. And
the space.
It's space and a half. Oh, it's easy now with the Aegis.
EG is just playing so fast, honestly. Like it looks like Crit is running in and dying, but this is something that every top tier support says that people don't do enough and that you should do, is sitting there and soaking smoke ganks. You know, and he's done it twice now. And just make them work for it with double stuns, with spells.
See bottom lane, GPK instantly out on the map and ready to start making plays with that fast orchid.
Very, very good way to kill both the Alchemist and the Omni if they're out. I think both of these heroes have so much effective HP. Without a Lion, it's basically impossible to kill them without that Orchid. Gives them a lot of options for killing people if he gets up.
Yeah, they do at least have a few saves, Navi. As long as Pasha or Aurelius are the ones getting going on, they'll have some methods of keeping the target of EG alive. Have a nice rune here for GPK, grabbing the arcanes. Now with the arcane, the Orchid very ready to go. And a little bit of an adaptation to when we saw GPK play the Storm the other day. Went for a greedier build. They did suffer. They did lose that match. This time, Orchid straight into the BKB at the moment was what he's got queued up. He wants to make sure that he just doesn't, you know, he can continue to play aggressive with this Orchid rush without the threat of feeding his life away.
Bottom tower is under attack.
BKB definitely makes sense. I feel like not going for treads is just innately greedy, but BKB, if he just goes in on the Oracle, it just sets up for the Magnus to hit this huge RP because he's going to be so disruptive. Young G, Crit can't solo kill him. There's no way.
No.
In fact, I think Crit's probably gonna die here. They see the career. Oh no. Oh. That was a mango tree, actually.
Oh, see, Crystallized getting saved here by the false promise. I mean, very hard for Navi to really get a catch onto EG's members until Youngji comes over. Doesn't want to go with the slide chains onto Flies. Turn over to Water. That's easy. Try and deal with him instead, but Artor pops the ult. Status resistance, meaning that there's no chance of Navi committing on for those few seconds. Crystallize, he's still sticking around to try and farm it. Flight, able to come over, takes that big creep away. As EG again just sort of terrifying Navi and pushing them right back towards their base.
EG, once again, is doing such a fantastic job at always just running at the Alphonse to farm and taking farm away from him. Like, you don't see anybody on the EG side of the map farming. Because if you farm versus an Alchemist, you can have 10 Midases, and he's going to farm faster than you. That cannot be the game plan versus an Alchemist. You have to take farm away from him.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I don't know what the last time a neutral creep on EG's half of the map died. They're just playing fully in the faces of Navi. And look at the warding. It's just the amount of wards and sentries on Navi's half of the map that EG have placed down. It's just made it a nightmare for Navi to regain any sort of control down here. Down bottom, find the opening onto GPK. Silence is going to come out onto the 82 to stop the follow-up stop, but it's not going to be enough to stop GPK from going down. Navi with a big catch here on the Storm.
Yeah, you really have no way of dealing with getting just instantly chained by the Ember, and he doesn't have any effective HP right now, so he just dies to that. So getting punished a little bit for the greedy build there. Alchemist finally has his Radiance, but not much of the map to farm is the problem. That kill does help.
Yeah, where he does farm, he's going to need to have backup constantly close by.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire structures.
As we see, tier 2s now starting to get pressured by EG. RTZ still got time to work with this Aegis. Full greed done on Ramsey to really puff up this fighting potential of EG right now.
I've always been a big fan of this build ever since, I think it was like Seb that did it first way back in the day, where you don't go for like the immediate blink on the offlane mag, you just play to 5-man, you play to fight, and it's like, well, I'm gonna hit RP because you have to fight it, that's because we're running at your towers. And eventually, of course, you do need the blink, but this is just really nice for 5-manning, which is exactly what EG wants to do. They want to take towers.
Well, mid lane, attempt to be made onto Fly. Crit gets out the stun, but straight away, Pasha buffing Youngji up, allowing him to continue to chase it onto Fly, but the heals are too strong with the silence on the Ember. Youngji cannot commit any further.
5 Navi does seem like it's a little bit difficult to break just because they have so much save. I don't think they can kill EG, but I think they can survive EG. As long as Ramses doesn't have his blink. He has a casual glove of... He's going to turn that into something.
Radiant's
Midas would be very interesting.
That would be surprising. I feel like that was probably just one bit picked up in the laning stage early on, right?
Yeah, probably. Maybe he was going to finish and then he's like, oh, you know what? This is going to be a really good game. It's going very well. Let's 5-man. Let's take towers.
Yeah, that's just one of those things as well, right? It can feel like if you are going for the Greaves, you just miss that attack speed. You know, that little bit can make all the difference for just the feel of the hero. A smoke up for Navi.
Always crit, man. He's always standing in front. It's so annoying.
They just can't. They can't catch EG off guard in this situation. Smokes put an end. EG moves over from the bottom lane towards the middle. This is where the last tier 2 stands for Navi. I mean, we see these games as well where a team very quickly gets like 1 tier 2 and it's like, damn, they can go for the outpost. They got it before the 20-minute mark. In this game, EG's borderline taking all 3 of the tier 2s before the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, very not common, but you know, once again, I think it all goes back to the aggro try lane. Just generally, if you fail an aggro try, it always looks like this, no matter what, because you have no recourse. You can't go back to the safe lane and farm because there's a huge Magnus there. You can't throw 3 underleveled heroes against a huge Magnus and expect it to work. Like, aggro tries are very hit or miss.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Let's see what they can catch with their smoke. We didn't see Navi have too much luck with theirs. We'll see if EG has a better shot. G on the front. Blind Smoke will dispel. Actually going to turn Crystallite, trying to move in onto the Enchantress. The stop catches the two of them. Throw the stun the way of Arteezy. Stop Arteezy from getting on top of the Merchant. Arteezy and GPK turn over towards Ilias. The GA has come out. We'll give some safety for now for Navi, but now with the GA come to an end, EG just going to push on. The stacks building up on Crystallite as Arteezy commits with the BKB. Outspace saved to the final moments by the false promise, but Ramses comes in with the RP onto the two of them. Crystallite, he's taking a lot of damage through this false promise, so will almost certainly pop at the end of it. No, the heals were enough, but the purification Crystallite does it for a little longer, but finally falls to Arteezy's Earth Job. Stone for a crit, catches the two of them. Immersion's gone. Young G, Pasha, and Ilias, can they turn this around? The Ember is being saved for now by Ilias. Young G will be healed. The purifying flame starting to kick in. Young G will remain alive. Ramses is trying to chase and hunt him down. There's no remnants left on Young G. With the phase boots, he's got a fair bit of movement speed to continue to run away from this.
Dire's current
Shockwave won't catch him here though. Find him with a slow flight with the enchant. Young G, 2 seconds till Remnant. Can he get his way out? Go for the self-heals, but didn't throw a Remnant out before he went up in the heals. That Remnant coming after as he misses the opportunity to maybe jump away. And will mean that he does end up going down at the end of it all.
Just everything on cooldown for him there. But man, that fight just proves to me, like if I'm in the game, and I'm EG, it's just like, okay, we have to focus the Oracle. That Oracle Owl combo, how many hits of Fury Swipes do we see Ursa?
It was like the 10th stake, you know, they were building up real time.
Get him out of here.
Oh, for the heals. Ilias, he's going to be saved. Pasha's able to come in with the safety. Now GPK has committed a lot of mana for this. The Root's going to fly over. Crystallize building up the concoction. A GPK with the bottom charges and the 1 charges will have enough to get away. Stomp out onto crit, but no follow through.
Man, this double save lineup with the Alk is looking like it could possibly be enough in this game.
Okay.
Dude, especially with the Heaven's Halberd coming out too. He is going to be a pain to kill because remember, that amplifies his regen with an Oracle who also amplifies the regen.
And look at Arteezy's build because of this. He says, right, I'm getting Nullifier, right? Is that the plan here?
Yeah, I guess so. Nullifier, what does this take off here? I guess the Guardian Angel? That's
GA?
The GA.
That's the big one, right? It's going to allow him to at least continue doing damage through the GA.
Yeah. I think you could take off maybe like the Oracle W? The Oracle Q.
You take off the Purifying Flames.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
So there's going to be no instant heals.
Right, no heal whatsoever. Actually, I think that's probably what it's for. It's probably for mostly the Purifying Flames and the GA. Yeah, it's a good Nullifier game. It's weird at first just because it's like, well, the Oracle ulti's still going to work, obviously, and so is the...
Sure.
You can't nullify the Omni W, but I guess that's also true. If the Omni puts his W on somebody before the Nullifier, the Nullifier's not going to last any duration.
No.
right? Because of the status resist.
The status resistance the buff would affect the duration of the nullifier.
Yeah, so who goes on who in this game matters a lot.
Yeah. We'll see how much effect it does have. I mean, you can definitely feel I feel like it's going to do something for RTZ without a doubt. It doesn't mean
100%. Yeah.
And you know, especially when the team fights, it's not 5v5. You find someone alone. The nullifier will be able to tear them apart.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you jump the Oracle with the Orchid and then just jump somebody else with RTZ with the nullifier, I think that's a very solid way to play team fights.
I've got the full ether lens on Crit, so additional way to try and get the catch on these backliners, these heroes with the saves.
That flying is playing so aggressive here. They're afraid though. They know he's baiting. I mean, who stands this close without a full team behind him? But he's kind of on his own. He's just bluffing.
Yeah, Roshan's up again. So EG quickly moving into the pit. I don't see any lineup with an Ursa with this sort of lead. It's not going to be contested at all. Very quick Roshan, which will push RTZ awfully close to having that relic. Just about 1,400 to go, and it'll be there. Cheese for GPK, and Aegis for RTZ for the next fight.
Nice thing about having an Ursa on your team, or it can actually be a downfall as well. Like if you take Roche so early on into the game, you get these like refresher shard, cheese Roches, where if this goes the other way and Navi takes the next Roche, you're gonna kind of rip Ursa on your team.
Are scanning.
If the smoke from Navi can find anything, it's going to be difficult though, fighting into the Aegis and cheese. Young G maybe seeing if he can find a snipe on the back lines. Crit. Not going to be found. Young G just backing up to the base, ready for the high ground defense. Starts easy. Popping the ult. Hold him in place for now with the sleep, but he's out of there. They got what they came for. Tier 3 tower taken down at the 24-minute mark. Navi are trying with the chase. The all set up from Young G. RTZ continuing to run. Pasha buffing up Crystallize, but EG already backing up and no further way for Navi to chase. They do have the Blink Dagger on Crystallize, so an extra bit of follow-up, especially if Young G's able to get in with the slight chains. Crystallize will have a solid chance at following up with a full duration concoction.
Yeah. It's been a while since this concoction build has been popular, but I suppose with the recent buffs, I think both of the concoction talents got buffed, and maybe the spell did too. So I see why it's coming back to some degree. Oh, he's going.
He's going to try for Ramses. Leaning in if they got the damage to take him out though. Ramses able to skew off in time. The root holds him in place. Crystallize punching desperately, trying to bring him down. What will it do it? Can he find it? He can. The Radiant's plan damage will get the kill. Now Crystallize having to pop the ult and start a retreat. Another concoction beginning to cook up. Crystallize puts it out to RTZ. RTZ popping the ult. Status resistance will remove the stun pretty quickly. Navi continuing to try and fight up, and now he turns. Just to go in onto the Alchemist, but in fact the Alchemist just turns and goes on the win. That's RTZ's just gone. Navi, can they do it a second time? There'll be a buyback from Crit. Now they'll start to retreat. Crystallizes ult coming to an end. RT's moving in with the nullifier. Crystallize is going to be safe for now by the team, but the nullifier does persist and take it off him. He's going to continue to run, able to blink onto the side. Rogue's good concoction now onto Crit, but GPK with a BKB. He's starting to clean things up. They turn back over towards the out, and Crystallize has the kill great, but now it finishes, and he turns the ult from Immersion though. It comes down to the entire team, crashing through them all. GPK, enough mana to pull out there, but Young G, he's on the chase. Another remnant now. He's actually going to be able to close the gap onto the stone. Crystallize in with a blink. Then found GPK. Navi, they're fighting back hard. They were down at 11k, but coming in there on the mid, and again, it's as you said earlier, you were like, you know, does this potential of the out just being consistently buffed by the Oracle and Omni Knight have some sort of power that could allow them to do it, and it did. Couldn't kill Crystallize, even with the use of the nullifier. I'll be honest, it did look underwhelming. It didn't seem to do much at all for RTZ in this fight. It didn't really help that much at all against the Alchemist with all these constant buffs and saves coming out on him.
It's too much. It's too much. And you have the status resist of the Heaven's Halberd as well, right? So that's going to reduce the effect of the nullifier. You have the status resistance coming from the Heavenly Grace. There are just too many saves, man. And Navi also, kudos to them, man, because they're not just using them. Like, they are really baiting EG into going on this Crystallized Alchemist here.
Yeah, this is some insane stuff from Navi. I mean, again, you know, their whole map being controlled by EG for pretty much the entirety of this 20 minutes that we've just seen. They were behind 11k whilst having an Alchemist. So, you know, that 11k deficit is even greater because you have an Alch. You expect to have inflated net worth with that hero.
Right.
And now they've managed to punch back at EG pretty heftily.
It's a good draft. It's legitimately a good draft. Ursa is seeming extremely underwhelming. GPK just seems like he's constantly out of mana, constantly running away. The Bloodstone will help, but man, it's not what it once was. That item.
Yeah, the Oracle only. This combo. I mean, what's the plan for EG? Just absolutely have to find these two heroes at the start of the fight? It feels like if you don't, you're just never going to kill the cause.
It's one of these games where if this is a pub, there's literally zero chance for Dire to win. Because you need to, you have to execute team fights so precisely. I think they need to catch Oracle or Omni in an RP without Heavenly Grace, and then either crit or GPK jumps the Oracle. Like they're going to need to execute 2 backline jumps simultaneously, but Navi is doing so well at staying far apart from each other and putting the Alchemist in the front. And also the Ember. Young G, he's always in the front as well. He's being very annoying. He's catching the Storm, forcing the Storm to use his mana.
Oh, that's 50. Easy kill for Crystallize, set up there by Young G. And Young G in all sort of the control that EG has had playing on their half of the map. Now, Young G's, he's not been caught out. He's only died the once this game on the Ember. A very, very solid performance from him.
Absolutely. He's kind of functioning like a little bit of a bait for the Alchemist. Like he made a lot of space for this hero early, and it looked kind of funny, but naturally that's going to be how it looks when you're making space for somebody, and it's paying off.
And you're a fan of this as well? You saw just there, Immersion, he's more than halfway towards Aghanims on the ET.
Yeah, that's a nice item. I think Aghanim's ET is just something that's been straight up overbuffed in the past. Having that BKB on obviously a much lower cooldown than the actual BKB is, it lets him disrupt. It lets him be so annoying in these team fights, and he wants to put his body in there because it gives that physical reduction.
Ramses, staying very close to Navi here, but no vision down from Navi. Still EG having the superior ward control in Navi's jungle. They'll get away with this and they'll be able to make sure that 30 minutes in again, they will hold control of both outposts, EG.
I am seriously concerned for EG in terms of, I don't see where they get the damage to kill this Alchemist.
Sure. Like this Alchemist has absolutely got all carry this game right now, Chris.
Absolutely, because I mean he's getting more and more farm, right? He's going to out farm you, right? So by the time they get the items to deal with what he currently has, he has 2 more items. Now he has the space to actually farm. So it's not like the early game where, okay, they're just snowballing and so they can kill him. Like, how does an Ursa get the damage to kill him if he's not already killing him? Like Monkey King Bar? Rapier? It's on an Ursa. I don't know how great that is.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's looking tough for them. They're going to need to get some really nice pick off, I think. That's how you fight this, is you don't fight it. You just go pick offs.
Considering how the game's gone so far, 30 minutes in, do you think Navi as a side, did they sort of, were they ready to sort of lose that early game and fall behind as much as they did? Do you think this is a strat that Navi has and has worked on that is built to deal with those sort of deficits and come back into it?
I think they probably didn't want to lose the aggro. I think they probably expected to do better in that. But I think the value that they put on giving the Omni Knight solo XP, it is clearly paying off. Like, he is doing so much work saving in these fights, and if he was just useless because he was against an Ursa.
Crystallize, he's gonna come in, the Lotus Sword out in time. Arteezy's popped the ult. Root comes out afterwards though into the sleep. It's a long hold onto Arteezy, then moving in onto the Ursa. They lock it down any further. Arteezy has to put the BKB in retreat. He's got to run.
So does a level 3 ult. Now that that's been nerfed, if you do bait out the Ursa ult in the early levels, it can be a place for you to make a play because it's got such a long cooldown now. But the BKB, that's a big deal here. If he has that on a, only lasting 5 seconds, it's a lot easier for the Alch to kill the Ursa. Like, he was, man, Arteezy's looking mega useless in these fights. He cannot do anything. He is not doing any damage.
It's just so hard for him to find a target. Up in the river, set up on GPK. He's out with the root before the root hits him. And the Lotus Orbs will certainly assist here as Ramses, just as we see the build, he's starting to go for as much as he can to keep his team alive. The Greaves, the Lotus. And there's the build for Immersion, though. The now complete. So, you know, now Immersion, he himself, he's definitely not an easy target for EG to go on. You know, as we said already, they're probably going to be considering Pasha and Ilias higher on the list of who they need to find. But this ET, he's just going to be sitting there putting up a lot of damage, having magic immunity, and just walking around punching everybody, and offering so much up with the aura and the Earth Splitter.
Oh man, if they can get... Oh, he blinks it. Okay.
Ramsey's quick reaction. Can they punish this out? Gonna try. GPK's if it is looking for the backlash. Pops the BKB, goes straight away onto Ilias. He's not going to be able to finish him off though. Ilias able to sneak out to the side with the invis. GPK turns over towards Crystallized, but you can feel that EG know they cannot kill this out. They're starting to have to back away. Arteezy pops the BKB, he'll turn to try and punch into the Crystallized Alchemist, but he's having to use this BKB again to retreat. He's having to run. He's got to get out of it. This Navi will continue to chase him. Stewart from Arteezy trying to opportunity for Navi, but the bash comes out. Ramses is out. Crip just hiding and hoping they don't find him. Crystallized, he's hunting for more. RTZ's out to the side. It's just EG. They're just running away. That's all they can do.
Oh my god.
It's going for the chappy.
Oh! Crystallize! Oh my god, he actually survived.
He's away.
Are you serious? I can't believe. Oh, dude.
I mean, but this is just EG on the run. They just have to run away.
Yeah, man. This is definitely Navi's game to throw. It seems like EG does not have the tools. Like, they're going for the Oracle now. They're going for the Omni Knight. Like you said, they know they can't go on Pasha.
As soon as the start of the fight doesn't result in Ilias or Pasha dying, EG's... we have to get out. We can't fight.
Yeah, but even if they get out on one of them, it's like the one saves the other, and now they have Glimmers, and they have Halberd, and they have this Aghanim Scepter, their Elder Titan, so he can run in and he can be disruptive, like they couldn't focus him. It is seeming very rough, and I think if you're EG, I legitimately think you probably question the nullifier pick after this game. You think, okay,
it's just not done anything.
It hasn't done anything. I think maybe it could have been an Abyssal. Maybe it could have been a Monkey King bar for more damage, because they clearly lack damage. But it has not felt useful. Like, Arteezy has not had a single good fight in 15 minutes.
Scanning.
I mean, EG hasn't, so of course Arteezy hasn't.
We'll see what we can do with this smoke. EG, I mean, they're running straight at this Navi. They've got all their ults ready to go on the high ground. Young G just outside of the edge of the vision. Arteezy heads in. They'll jump to the side. I mean, Navi, they're grouped up as 5. This is a hard fight for EG to start. They do have the high ground with this smoke, but Navi are prepared. They're again just moving around the map, grouped up as 5. How do you even penetrate this team? You just can't get to the back lines.
They ping it out too. They know exactly where EG is. This spot is literally called the fly spot. The pro players refer to it as the fly spot because he's so well known for making this call to fight around it. And so they ping it, and it looked like they were maybe going to go in there with the Alchemist going first, but they just say, you know what? We know they can't fight us. Why fight into them? Like, let them come to us. They can't fight us as long as we stay as a unit.
And Navi just holding strong as the 5. The net worth back to even now as Navi just continue to swing this game further and further towards their favor. Crystallized, he's ready to charge and goes over the jump, looking to fly, gets the stun on the way, flying Arteezy flies out, I think the blade knows what the team, can they save him? He's able to get the goal out, jumps to the side, looks at Pasha, he's ended up chilling on the high ground. Ramses comes in with the skewer, RP, it's only going to catch Crystallized, they just don't have the damage to kill him. We see GPK turn, trying to deal with Ilias on the backline, but Ilias, he's able to get the false promise off in time, he'll survive. EG's lost 2, they've got to bail, EG's got to run yet again. As this whole game has just been EG running away. 3 of them won't make it as Young G comes in with a slight triple kill for him. I mean, the frustrations have been high on EG. They must be sitting there asking each other, what do we do? What can we do? We can't do anything. And Jenkins, you know, I sort of laughed at you, like, oh, one of the downsides of Ursa, killing Roche twice, you get the chance for a quick Aegis or Reflection Shard Roche, potentially the enemy team. But you're right, Jenkins, that's exactly what's happened. 36 minutes in, Navi, they're able to easily get themselves the 3rd Roche.
What do they get for this? This is a refresher.
What he drops.
Aghanim's, okay. Aghanim's global Ags ult. Oh, okay, I thought they were going to give it to the Omni, but for Ember, of course, this is a fantastic Ags. I mean, he's doing so much in terms of disrupting these fights.
Young G.
He's breaking smokes. He's running in, getting fights started. He's going on the back lines. He's protecting he's protecting Ilias. Like, him having the Ags is not going to make this any easier for EG. It's safe to say.
I guess the thing is, well, you know, with the positioning of Navi, they don't really need the axe on the Omni because they're always together as 5. They've constantly been just in a position that's just not allowed EG to do anything. EG cannot fight this squad.
Nobody is ever alone, but they're far enough away from each other that they're not getting double RP'd or double stunned. Because I think, once again, going back, the way that you need to execute this fight is... okay, actually, I think this is Navi's mango tree. I'm pretty sure it is. Or is it EG's? What's the vision at? No, it's not. Okay, so it is EG's. I see. So that's an interesting little spot that they're using that to play around. At this point in the game, that's a really good spot to... I mean, you would hope that the game doesn't go this late against an Alchemist, right? You'd hope to have won this game so far. But anyway, going back, I think if you're EG, you have to simultaneously initiate on the Omni and the Oracle. And Navi has not let that happen a single time.
They just... Every single fight has just been perfect for Navi. I don't know what necessarily is about it that's meant it's been impossible for EG to ever start with the pickoff that they want to, but they just haven't. I mean, that last fight was so GP. He got close to killing Ilias, but he was the only one on him, and Ilias, he was able to get false promise off on himself, and at that point, you sort of committed all your mana for a kill that you didn't get.
And Fly is dead. Yeah, I love how they're playing as a unit, but not so much of a unit that the Magnus is just hitting these crazy RPs. Like, we literally just saw Crystallize get RP'd in the last fight.
And it didn't matter.
That is the worst possible hero because he's got all of the status resist. He's got all of this regen. He's got 61 regen, and he doesn't have his ult up. That's insane.
And what are you going to do about it?
Dire's bottom tower.
Absolutely nothing.
Radiant's middle
They've got to do something. I mean, he's taking this tier 3 tower down. I mean, maybe with some sort of deep skewers, they can get him in deep, away from the back. But he's just taking the base right underneath their noses. EG, what are they going to do? This is the melee race going. Is anybody... Oh, here we go. Skewer. In onto the Alchemist. They're trying to drag him back. Again, the save's there. I mean, they know. Just can't put him. As Crystallized, he's just taking this Rax. And EG's got nothing. They've got nothing to stop it. Courier. Oh, boy. Wait, how did the courier end up? I just run. RTZ runs a gold potion to. He's suffering. Yes. Please, have mercy. Oh, take the chicken.
There will be no mercy in this game. None of...
Oh, 12k lead now for Navi. I mean, honestly, Jenkins, it looks impossible for EG. It looks impossible.
It does. I hate to keep saying it, but it looks really, really hard. Oh, man, they need to do some crazy smoke wraparound. I think at this point, it's not even about simultaneously initiating. I don't think that's enough. A pickoff would be a nice start.
I mean, young G, he'll just start running them. He's got the Aegis.
That's something, you know, it's more than they've been getting for the last 25 minutes of this game, so I think EG's probably happy with that. Goodness gracious. Yeah, you need to hit some sort of miracle reverse polarity in order to win this. I don't think it's enough to just execute the team fight decently. That's not enough.
And it really, this strat from Navi, this draft, it seems
not heresy.
Very impressive. You know, they have very little control in the early game, but they brought it back, and now they just look untouchable. To the stage that I imagine in further drafts against Navi, you're not letting the squad having Alk, Omni, and Oracle together. Otherwise, you know you're going to be in for a very tough time.
You know, at the end of this game, I wanted to say, you just can't pick an Alchemist against an NA team. They know how to deal with it. Everybody in that region is obsessed with Alchemist. They know how to deal with heroes that are farming. And EG did that. But you know what they don't deal with? What they can't deal with is the aggression that's coming out from this Alchemist. That is something you don't see in North America. He is right in. He is always in front. That is not a North American style Alchemist right there.
Dire's middle tower.
Now, Crystallized just having full trust in his team. Just able to charge forward and just continue to take these things on the map. I mean, EG, they're sticking together. They're hanging around RTZ top. They're just not able to accomplish anything right now.
I'm sitting here looking at this, and I don't even think they have enough damage with a 5-man RP to kill everybody in the RP. I think they need a refresher if they want to kill people. A pick off though, that's a good start.
See if they can get the jump. Looking towards Immersion. They'll leave him with that Hex. Crit have the extra cast range now that he's hit the tower. They'll go with another fire onto Immersion. Crystallize, he's already just jumping down the back lines. Ramsey's tried to screw away. Crystallize is back up with the Abyssal. Picks out Crit. Now a turn for Pasha. He's saved to get the Storm from his cut down. The Army Knight, GPK and RTZ, they're trying to beat into Crystallize. Crystallize just starts to punch back. RTZ's BK is about to come to an end. They will manage to kill Pasha. Crit comes in with the 2 months, but these stars split up. Immersion catches both GPK and RTZ. RTZ's out for 100. GPK as well. Ramsey's trying to run, but Crystallize and Young G chase him down. The stomp from Immersion catches him out as Young G and Crystallize head in to finish the kill. Triple kill for the out. Crit, he is not going to get out of this one as Young G will have the means to chase this down for sure. As Crit, he'll try to hide with the glimmer, but the slight change finds him. EG just getting destroyed in every single fight now for the past 20 minutes.
Man, Navi coming into this game, proving everybody wrong.
Dude, you gotta check those odds on this game. It was something like 5 on Navi.
Somebody made bet on this.
There's a very happy Navi fan out there.
Very happy. Goodness gracious.
As well, they couldn't do anything when they have 5 alive on the bottom lane, EG. They're probably not going to be able to do anything when they have 1 alive. As Navi take a second set of racks.
Feels so hopeless at this point. At this point, you're honestly just talking about next game. Honestly, I think you could probably just throw him before Ortiz alive here.
And the buy comes out from Ramsey. They do have the fortification. Quick spike and change. Stop Ramsey from being able to try for a blink skewer opportunity. As Crystallize just continues to look to close this one out. Takes the tier 4. They'll give a little bit of respect for safety. As Big Zip comes in for GPK. Won't find a catch. I mean, I think if you're Navi, you probably know that you've got this one in the bag. Do you want to end it quickly, or do you want to make this one hurt for EG? You want to draw this one?
Yeah, I think you go for the psychological damage for the next game.
That's the big play for Navi now. Take your time.
I cannot foresee a future where EG doesn't ban Alchemist. I don't think they want to get Alex again. This to me just proves that Navi, like they know how to play this hero in and out. Like a lot of teams will just feed relentlessly when Alchemist falls behind.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a jungle.
This lineup just looks incredibly well rehearsed from Navi. This is an exact 5 heroes that I imagine they've been hitting up in scrims, and they know exactly what to do. Just the team play, it's flawless from Navi here.
It's like they're an AI, and they're all one sentient being playing all of the heroes at the moment, at least for the last 30 minutes. Don't think anybody expected this, especially after how the lanes went.
Yeah, you saw that in the win probability. This game, about 15 minutes in, was about 70% for EG, and as we talked about, it was 20 minutes in, EG had taken like all the tier 2 towers. Like they're sort of the stats on teams that lose that much map control that early on, but are able to pick it back up and just dominate the second half. Like, this does not happen every day.
It does not.
And the
4th Roche with a DD on Alchemist.
I mean, I feel like it's... If you're EG, what do? You just let this go? Or do you just throw your lives in here? I mean, if you're not going to stop this Roche from going down, when are you going to stop him?
I think you have to try to steal the Aegis. I don't think you can fight. I think you legitimately go for the Aegis steal. Like, that is your only play here.
EG. Watching him, Ramsey's going to skewer the Crystallize out of the pit. Crystallize gets the ult off in time. Silence about to pay. They found the Bastion with the silence, but they just don't have the damage inside the pit. Rocha goes down with Young G's able to pick up the Aegis. RTZ's down for 100 seconds. No buyback. The chase here from Navi, forcing EG away from the pit. The stomp will catch out Ramsey's. GPK all the way back to base, but Ramsey's will be left behind. They tried for EG there, their last option, and they'll tap out. GG is called as Navi, with a spectacular showing in this one, just leave EG in a position for those